The era of Beast Girls begins with a pact with an SSS-Level School Beauty. Welcome back, brave explorers of impossible worlds. We are excited to have you here to continue this odyssey together. Before we continue, everything you'll hear is pure fiction. So please don't try to replicate combat techniques at home. This wonderful story in all its rights belong to its brilliant original author. We are only the messengers of entertainment. Want another dose of adventure? Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a single chapter. And if you can't wait, our Patreon has exclusive surprises you'll love. Chapter 76 Xiao Ye, show off your lips, taste if it stinks. Xiao Ye's lips twitched. Why put that stinky foot on his lap? Seeing Xiao Ye's disgusted expression, Xiao Ye glared at him and said fiercely, "Hurry up and rub it for me, or I'll show it to your mouth and let you taste how stinky it is." Xiao Ye was startled and said, "No, of course it's not stinky. How could a fairy's feet be stinky? If he really showed it to his mouth, he would suffer a lot." Xiao Ye reached out and rubbed his ankle, finding it smooth and delicate to the touch. Xiao Ye's still charming face showed a satisfied expression, and she snorted inwardly, "Little brat, I can't handle a young man like him." After rubbing for about 10 minutes, Xiao and Xie Mengxuan ran in panting, saying, "We found the healing potion." As she spoke, Xiao opened the potion bottle and poured the blue potion onto his ankle. Xiao Ye then spread the potion evenly to allow the skin to absorb it better. 10 minutes later, the swelling on Xiao Ye's ankle visibly subsided, almost completely healed. She finally withdrew her foot, much to Xiao Ye's relief. Seeing Xiao Ye's relieved expression, Xiao Ye, still somewhat suspicious, brought her foot to her nose and smelled it. "Not smelly. Smells good," Xiao Ye concluded. Xiao Ye and the other two stared dumbfounded at Xiao Ye's comical action, exclaiming, "Teaching assistant, what are you doing?" Xiao Ye looked embarrassed and said something surprising, "Trying to show off my big pig's trotter? Let me smell it. What's the difference?" Xiao Ye was speechless. Of course, there's a difference between a jade foot and a pig's trotter. This jerk, making me sniff. Xiao Ye awkwardly tried to roll around on the stone chair. The fact that her ankle had fully recovered was just an illusion she had created. Seeing Xiao Ye's disgusted expression, she thought viciously, "HMPH. I'll find a chance to make you show off, to let you taste whether it's good or not." If Xiao Ye knew this, he would probably run away in panic, begging for mercy as he ran. "Teaching assistant, there's no need. I'm not a pervert, I really don't want to show off." Seeing that Xiao Ye's injuries were almost healed, Xiao Ye said goodbye. Xiao Ye didn't want to let Xiao Ye leave, and in her haste, she came up with an excuse that even she found absurd. "Xiao Ye, I tried cultivating, but I found that my cultivation level has regressed again. Could you give me another massage?" As soon as she said it, Xiao Ye felt embarrassed. A massage? That would mean she had to be completely honest with Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye's gaze sharpened, and he asked in surprise, "You've regressed again?" Xiao Ye blushed, deciding to go all out, and smiled, "Yes." Xiao Ye frowned, hesitantly scrutinizing Xiao Ye, sensing she was lying. Her Dao energy hadn't been exhausted, how could her cultivation level have regressed? Xiao patted Xiao Ye's shoulder, pouting, "Hey, Xiao Ye, don't be so stingy. What's wrong with a massage? It won't hurt you." Xiao Ye was filled with doubt, but he smiled helplessly. "All right then, teaching assistant, I'll massage you again later. See you tomorrow, teaching assistant. Xiao Ye, we'll wait for you at home." Then Xiao and Xie Mengxuan left, returning to Villa 001 a few hundred meters away. Seeing Xiao Ye's eagerness to show off her jade feet, Xiao Ye felt an urge to urinate and quickly used his escape method to go to the bathroom. Ding dong. The doorbell rang. Xiao Ye thought it was Xiao and Xie Mengxuan, and thought to herself, "Oh no. Do they not want Xiao Ye to massage her?" Xiao Ye rushed to open the door, her heart pounding with anxiety. Instead, she was met by a burly, muscular man with a long, narrow scar on his right cheek. He smirked, revealing an incredibly menacing smile, and said, "Xiao Ye, it's been a year, and you're still as beautiful as ever." Upon seeing that it wasn't two women, but this burly man, the flower-like smile on Xiao Ye's pretty face vanished, replaced by a blank expression. "What are you doing here? Do you need something?" Xiao Ye made no attempt to welcome the burly man inside. The burly man glanced around the villa and said with displeasure, "Xiao Ye, we're colleagues, won't you let me in for a bit? Or perhaps you're hiding a man in there?" Don't you want me to find out? Liu Ya's pretty face darkened. There really was a man inside. Is there something you need? If not, get lost. This burly man was her suitor, the kind who would stop at nothing to pursue her. His name was Hong Tao, and his cultivation level was 10 stars of the Great Venerable Realm. He was a top instructor at the Hong Family Martial Arts School, one of the 3 major martial arts schools in the Magic City, and also an external teaching assistant at the Titan Combat Academy of the Magic City Beast Tamer Academy. Strictly speaking, the two were indeed colleagues, both external teaching assistants, but they didn't work at the same academy. The Titan Combat Academy and the Kunpeng Combat Academy were both among the 10 academies of the Magic City Academy. Faced with Liu Ya's harsh words, the fierce and muscular Hong Tao didn't find her fierce at all. Instead, he found her cute. Hong Tao, I need something. I need to talk to you, it's great news. Liu, somewhat suspicious, welcomed the fierce and muscular Hong Tao inside and, as the hostess, began preparing tea and fruit. The fierce and muscular Hong Tao's eyes kept darting around, curiously examining the Syrian-style interior design. Liu is still as unconventional as ever, just my taste, I like it. Then, Hong Tao's gaze lingered unabashedly on Liu Ya's sexy body, his eyes filled with deep greed. Only after Liu Ya noticed did he avert his gaze, pretending to be looking around the room. After Liu Ya prepared tea and fruit, she frowned as she sipped her tea and asked, "What is it?" The muscular Hong Tao didn't rush to answer, but instead savored the tea Liu Ya had brewed, saying with a look of enjoyment, as expected of Assistant Professor Liu's tea, "It's fragrant." Hearing the praise, Liu Ya felt no emotional fluctuation. However, fragrant? If Xiao Ye said her feet smelled fragrant, she'd wake up laughing in her dreams. "Xiao Ye, back off. I'm not free, get to the point." An impatient look appeared on Liu Ya's pretty face. Oh, the burly, muscular Hong Tao hadn't expected Liu Ya to dislike him so much, so he cut to the chase. "I'm here to see you, there must be good news. It's like this, my Hong Family Martial Arts School has opened over 100 new branches, located all over the country, in every major city. Assistant Instructor Liu has extensive connections and numerous disciples. My Hong Family branch is willing to offer salaries far exceeding market rates to hire many of Assistant Instructor Liu's disciples as instructors. What do you say?" "No way." Liu refused directly, leaving no room for negotiation. Hong Tao frowned. "Why? My Hong Family Martial Arts School already pays well. I'm willing to offer your disciples double their salaries. As the young patriarch of the Hong Family Martial Arts School, I have that right." Liu rejected the idea. The disciples Liu Ya, train are all highly skilled and possess extraordinary abilities. They don't need your salary, and they can do whatever they want. I have no right to interfere. Furthermore, this Hong Tao's motives were impure. If many of her disciples went to the Hong Family Martial Arts School, Hong Tao would find an opportunity to seize on their weaknesses and use various pretexts to threaten her, forcing Liu Ya to submit to him. Knowing Hong Tao as she did, Liu was certain he was capable of such ruthless acts. At this moment, Xiao Ye finished urinating and came out, asking in surprise, "Assistant sister, who is this?" Hong Tao was immediately startled. There really was a man hiding in the room. Chapter 77 Confident Hong Tao, Titan Academy's prodigy arrives. "This is an assistant instructor from the Titan Combat Academy," said Liu Yan. Xiao Ye nodded and smiled. "Hello." Hong Tao looked at Xiao Ye suspiciously. Xiao Ye's resolute face and handsome appearance made him wonder if he was Liu Ya's kept man. "This is my student, Xiao Ye," Liu said impatiently. So he wasn't a kept man. Hong Tao inexplicably breathed a sigh of relief. He had been pursuing Liu Ya for over 100 years and hadn't even held her hand. "Hey, such a handsome student, at first glance, I thought he was your little King Lang," he joked without restraint. Liu rolled her eyes at him speechlessly. Her little lover? If it's true, that's good. Taking advantage of the conversation, the fierce, muscular Hong Tao asked, "Liu, after all these years, have you ever thought about finding a man again? Find a strong man with a powerful background, excellent talent, and high cultivation level?" Hong Tao was testing Liu Ya to see if she had any such plans. Liu Ya's beautiful eyes darted around, and she said, "There really is." Hong Tao and Xiao Ye were both startled. Hong Tao thought to himself, "Damn it, after more than 100 years, this most beautiful widow is finally looking for a man." Liu paused, glancing at Xiao Ye's expression, and found him quite surprised. Liu continued, "But the time isn't right yet." Hong Tao stood up, showing off his muscular biceps, and said, "Liu Yan, what do you think of me?" Liu said speechlessly, "Get lost." Hong Tao stated his condition, "I can provide you with 2 creation-type rule fragment crystals. Don't rush to refuse, think it over carefully. I'm absolutely sincere towards you, and if you miss this opportunity, you might never get 2 crystals in your entire life." Liu wanted to say get lost again, but then she choked on her words, frowning in thought. "Ha ha ha." Hong Tao's face showed an arrogant expression, and he said confidently, "Then, I'll go back first. Give me your answer when you've thought it through, and I'll wait for you." Now only Xiao Ye and Liu Ye remained in the living room. Xiao Ye asked with a little curiosity, "Teaching assistant sister, since he's sincere towards you and can provide you with creation-type crystals, why don't you agree to be with him?" "Sincere? He's just after my body." Liu said irritably, "Besides, he has a contractor and wants me to be his mistress. HMPH. I hate men like that the most. But he's after my body, so I can't give in to him. I just want to see these men want me but can't have me." Liu grumbled and complained, as if she hated all men. Template adjuster is investigating. SSS level spirit cat template. Liu Yan, incomplete. Problem, template incomplete. Missing 2 creation type rule fragment crystals. The information appeared in Xiao Ye's retina. At present, Liu Yan did not show any signs of regression in her cultivation level and did not need to be replenished with Rhyme energy. Having received the results of his investigation, Xiao Ye dusted off his clothes, stood up, and headed towards the door, saying, "Since the teaching assistant hates men so much, I won't get in your way. See you tomorrow." Liu Yan. Seeing Xiao Ye about to leave, Liu Yan sprang forward like a rabbit, blocking his way and pouting, "Don't go. You haven't massaged me yet." Xiao Ye retorted, "Teaching assistant, don't you dislike men touching you?" Liu pulled Xiao Ye into the bedroom, and under Xiao Ye's dumbfounded gaze, she removed her clothes, becoming completely naked. "Hurry up and massage me, or you won't be leaving this room today." "HMPH, I can't touch those men, but you're allowed." Under Liu Yan's insistence, Xiao Ye reluctantly agreed. No looking at what is improper, no touching what is improper. As an upright young man, Xiao Ye would never look or touch inappropriately. He took out the crystal ball with the last remaining Dao energy and began to replenish Liu Ya's Dao energy through her acupoints according to the diagrams. An hour later, Xiao Ye fled in panic. It was truly terrifying. Liu Ya had several stress reactions, leaving the scene in a mess. Horrible, too terrifying. Xiao Ye ran home as if fleeing, forgetting even to take off his gloves. The next day, outside the wall of the No. 3 Lakeside Villa District, a group of students arrived, clamoring to see their teacher's wife. The security guards stopped them, refusing to let them in. This group of students were the prodigy contractor students of Titan Combat Academy, a total of 24 people, 12 pairs of contractors. The young man with a scar tattooed on his face, who was the leader, shouted, "We want to see our teacher's wife, why won't you let us in? I'm going to complain about you." "That's right, isn't teacher Liu Yan living in this villa district?" the security guard said coldly, refusing to let them in. Liu Yan, as a famous teaching assistant of Kunpeng Combat Academy, when did she become the teacher's wife of Titan Academy students? No way, Assistant Liu Yan didn't inform me that someone was visiting. The security guard's attitude was very firm. If it were just 1 or 2 people, he could let them in, but there were too many, more than 20. The scarred, tattooed youth sneered and waved his hand. "Ignore him, let's climb over the wall." "Yet, just climb over the wall, this old man is really in the way." "Exactly, he's actually blocking us from seeing our teacher's wife." Seeing that these people were trying to force their way in, the security guard panicked. He was just a weakling who got his position through connections at the 3rd tier and couldn't stop them at all. At this moment, a youth with a blue dragon tattoo on his arm came over from behind the group, leading a group of people. "Stop. You trash from Titan Academy, how dare you force your way in?" Cheng Yi and his group of student council members surrounded the Titan Academy's contractor prodigies. The scarred, tattooed youth sneered, "Who do we have here?" "It's Cheng Yi." "What, are you going to stop us from seeing our master's wife?" Cheng Yi frowned. "Master's wife? Which master's wife?" This scarred, tattooed youth was the son of Titan Supreme, the dean of Titan Academy. The scarred, tattooed youth said smugly. Of course it's teacher Liu Ye's wife. Our master, Hong Tao, sent us to pay him a visit. Cheng Yi sneered, then chuckled at the student council members. Brothers, these trash from Titan Academy say our goddess teaching assistant is their teacher's wife? Do you really believe it? The student council members laughed loudly. Ha ha ha, what a load of rubbish. Our goddess teaching assistant would be interested in that Hong Tao? The sun must have risen in the west. Impossible. Our goddess teaching assistant is so arrogant, how could she possibly be interested in that Hong Tao with his messy private life and terrible reputation? Hearing this, Cheng Yi looked at the scarred, tattooed youth with contempt, and said disdainfully, did you hear that? You're all dreaming. You dare call our goddess teaching assistant's wife? You dare pay her a visit? Go back to where you came from, get lost. Chapter 78 Academy Showdown, Liu Ye's heart-stealing plan. Titan Academy is trash? Hong Tao is a bad person? Go back? These words were like sharp swords, piercing the heart of the scarred, tattooed youth. His face was ashen, his eyes blazing with fury. He said, Kunpeng Combat Academy has been ranked third among the universities in Shanghai for hundreds of years, while our Titan Academy has always been ranked first. I don't know where you get the confidence to call our Titan Academy's geniuses trash. As he spoke, the scarred, tattooed youth laughed in anger. You Kunpeng Academy geniuses are just a bunch of ordinary students. The Titan Academy geniuses all sneered. How? We won't rest until we see our teacher's wife today. But before we enter this villa area, we must teach some arrogant and conceited trash a lesson. HMPH, then let us experience the power of the Kunpeng Combat Academy's geniuses. Cheng Yi and the student council members saw that their words had no effect and that they were being looked down upon, so they rolled up their sleeves, ready for a fight. Boss, get him. Yeah, boss, leave it to us. This is intolerable. They're on our turf, and they're still pushing their luck. They're too arrogant. The student council's contractors immediately wanted to transform into their summoned beast forms for a satisfying battle. Wait. Cheng Yi raised his hand and pressed down, and everyone's eyes were on him, waiting for his order to rush over and fight. Our student council has undergone a complete overhaul. We can't operate like we used to, so simplistic and brutal, Cheng Yi said calmly to the scarred-faced, tattooed youth. How about this? In 2 hours, the prodigies from our 2 academies will meet at the Void God Tower Arena for a life-or-death duel. If your Titan Combat Academy wins, I'll personally lead you to see Assistant Instructor Liu Ye. How about that? The scarred-faced, tattooed youth raised an eyebrow, somewhat surprised. I really didn't expect the usually arrogant Kunpeng Student Council to actually follow the rules. Cheng Yi raised his head, quite smugly, of course. Our student council can be flexible. What? Your Titan Academy doesn't dare. You're ranked first, trash. The scarred-faced, tattooed youth's lips twitched, his eyes widening as he cursed. Come on then. Why wouldn't we dare? You get all smug after I praised you. It's truly speechless. Then, the 2 groups headed towards the Void God Tower Arena in the center of the 10 academies. On the largest official forum of Kunpeng Combat Academy, a pin post quickly appeared. Stomp on Titan's trash. Interested Kunpeng prodigies, come quickly. Address, Void God Tower Arena, Student Council President Cheng Yifa, the Void God Tower awaits you. 1 appearance, win or lose, and you'll receive a low-grade Grandmaster Crystal Core. If you win, you'll receive a mid-grade Grandmaster Crystal Core. Kunpeng Academy Student Council. This pinned post, again from Student Council President Cheng Yifa, immediately caused a huge sensation. It's well known that the 10 academies of Shanghai have always disliked each other, constantly trying to crush one another. For the past few centuries, Titan Academy had consistently held a slight advantage over Kunpeng Combat Academy. Kunpeng Combat Academy ranked second, while Titan Academy held first place. Has the annual Academy Championship started again? Why wasn't there any advance notice? It's not a championship at all, it's just the Student Council going to war with the Titan Academy's prodigies. HMPH. No matter the reason, I definitely have to join in the fun of crushing Titan Academy's prodigies. Yet, great news. I'm going to. Joining in the fun is human nature, regardless of the era. After seeing the post, students from all 4 grades of the Kunpeng Combat Academy flocked to the Void God Tower. The top 30 prodigy contractors on the prodigy ranking were all individually messaged by the Student Council. They were invited to crush Titan Academy's prodigies, with very generous rewards. It was the start of the school year, and the prodigy contractors on the prodigy ranking had plenty of free time. Almost everyone who received a private message was willing to go and crush Titan Academy's prodigies for a bit of fun. After all, they lost to Titan Academy in last year's Academy Championship, and getting some revenge now was something to be happy about. In less than half an hour, the news of the battle at the Void God Tower swept through the Kunpeng Combat Academy like a whirlwind, with countless geniuses joining in. In the number 3 Lakeside Villa District, Villa number 10, in a Syrian-style bedroom on the first floor, Leah, feeling refreshed after a massage, stretched, revealing her stunning figure. After tidying up the messy bedroom and taking a shower, Leah was still dressed boldly and revealingly. She was somewhat annoyed, her delicate face showing distress. Leah, resting her chin on her hand, complained, "It's just a stress response, is it that scary? It's like a knee-jerk reflex. I felt good after the massage, so what's wrong with a few more quick thrusts? What's the big deal?" Thinking of Xiao Ye's desperate escape, she felt a surge of frustration. He was clearly the one who got the better deal. Why did he act like it was so terrifying? After thinking for a moment, Liu Ye decided not to rush things, lest she frighten Xiao Ye. Winning over Xiao Ye required a step-by-step approach, starting with the obvious and gradually deepening the relationship. It would be best to steal his heart first. How could she steal his heart? Liu was completely baffled. Ding dong. The doorbell rang, and an old man called out from outside, "Assistant Liu, a group of Titan Academy students came looking for you, and they got into a fight with the Kunpeng Student Council." Liu opened the door to find out what was going on. The third-tier old man, the doorman, explained the situation in detail, then glanced at Liu Ye's voluptuous figure a few times before reluctantly leaving. Knowing what had happened, Liu Ye slammed her fist on the stone table, shattering it into pieces. She roared, "It's Hong Tao again. He's despicable and shameless. Does he want to use these students to force me to agree to his demands? HMPH. Even if all the men in the world died, leaving only him, I still wouldn't agree to him." Having already found a solution, Liu Ye didn't care about Hong Tao's 2 fragments of creation-type rules. Then, Liu Ye's eyes lit up. She had a better plan to steal Xiao Ye's heart, and also to annoy Hong Tao. Entering the storage room, he took some things from the safe and then headed towards Villa 001, where Xiao Ye was. It was only a few hundred meters away. Inside Villa 001, Xiao Ye took off his gloves, locked the door, and his turbulent emotions gradually calmed down. But a trace of unease still lingered in his eyes. Would the teaching assistant be using me as a tool for her own venting? That won't do. While I, Xiao Ye, am happy to help others, I won't do just anything. Unless I get to feel good too. Xiao Ye shook his head, forcibly shaking off the chaotic thoughts in his mind. How could that be? Just then, the doorbell rang. Ding dong. A crisp sound. Chapter 79 The Battle for the Goddess Teaching Assistant. Nangguang Xiao let Liu Ye in and was quite surprised to see Liu Ye's attire. "This is the first time I've ever seen a teaching assistant wearing stockings," she exclaimed. Liu was wearing a purple short-sleeved shirt that looked like it was about to burst, so short it revealed her white navel. Below, she wore super short purple leather shorts that barely covered her buttocks. Her long legs, longer than many people's lives, were encased in sheer black stockings. She exuded the allure of a mature woman, overflowing with hormones and radiating femininity. Nangguang Xiao walked over and stood next to Liu Ye for comparison, only to find herself utterly outshone. The most beautiful teaching assistant, Liu Ye, possessed both her ample bosom and Cheng Bingxi's long legs. Both she and Cheng Bingxi were only 18 years old, their figures and faces still somewhat immature, not yet completely shedding their youthful innocence, giving off a fresh and youthful vibe. Teaching assistant Liu Ye and Vice Dean Yunbing were both mature, sexy women. When they wore stockings, that mysterious and sophisticated aura immediately shone through. "Does it look good?" Liu Ye asked with a smile, like a delicate flower. Nangguang Xiao nodded her head repeatedly. Of course it looks good." Liu Ye's beautiful eyes lit up. "Does Xiao Ye like it?" Nangguang Xiao tilted her head thoughtfully. "Xiao Ye is a straight man, of course he likes it. But why is the teaching assistant asking this? Are you wearing it for Xiao Ye?" Liu Ye's pretty face flushed. She didn't usually like wearing these, and the reason she wore stockings was for Xiao Ye. However, she seemed to be too straightforward and directly revealed her intention, so she quickly made amends. "Of course not. I'm not used to having prejudices against people I approve of. But Xiao Ye seems to think my feet smell bad, so I want to dispel that prejudice. Nangguangxiao nodded thoughtfully, her beautiful eyes revealing a silly and innocent look. At this moment, Xiao Ye changed into casual clothes and came down from the second floor, just as he heard Liu Ye say she wanted to dispel the prejudice. His lips twitched. Dispel the prejudice? How? Was he really going to be forced to boast? While this wasn't a punishment, it was a reward for some, and Xiao Ye felt it was a reward too. But there was no need. To change the subject, Xiao Ye took out his campus tablet, which displayed a virtual screen, third on the prodigy ranking, Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox, Contractors, Xiao Ye, Cheng Bingxi. This was his ranking on the Kunpeng Combat Academy's prodigy ranking. After slaying a Grandmaster level 10 Star Wolf King and eliminating a pack of demonic wolves at the combat training base, he had reached third place. The second and first places were held by others. In the private message status bar, there was another message. Opening it, he saw a battle invitation from the student council, with a link at the bottom. Curious, Xiao Ye clicked the link. It was a live video link. On the virtual screen, a live broadcast of the Void God Tower Arena appeared. The title of the broadcast was very attractive, Goddess Teaching Assistant Liu Ye's Academy Affiliation Arena Match. Xiao Ye was filled with questions. Why was Liu Ye involved in the fight? Nangguangxiao and Liu Ye, who were chatting animatedly, quickly stopped when Xiao Ye came down. They both crowded around the virtual screen. Liu Ye frowned slightly and said coquettishly, "These students are really something. Are they just bored and have nothing better to do than come up with such a bizarre title?" She explained the cause and course of events to Xiao Ye and Nangguangxiao, then pointed out the mastermind, Hong Tao. Nangguangxiao listened, her face full of anger, her small hands clenched tightly as she said, "That Hong Tao is too much? He really doesn't respect Sister Liu Ye." Xiao Ye, with a stern face, agreed wholeheartedly. Hong Tao was probably too confident, believing that Liu would definitely agree to him, but needed time to consider, so he released the news in advance, spreading rumors to make everyone believe that Liu Ye had given in to him, using this to pressure and urge Liu Ye to agree quickly. Liu Ye, her delicate body pressed against Xiao Ye's, curled her lips into a mischievous smile, saying, "Let our Kunpeng prodigies teach Hong Tao's disciples a lesson." At this moment, the virtual screen displayed a vast grassland battlefield conjured from the internal rules of the Void God Tower. Two groups were present, one led by a scarred-faced, tattooed youth from Titan Academy, consisting of 12 pairs of contracted prodigies. The other, a much larger group, comprised the Kunpeng prodigies led by the student council president, along with student council members and over 300 onlookers. Between the two groups stood a massive, fenced-off arena. The scarred-faced, tattooed youth from Titan Academy, arrogant and disdainful, declared, "Assistant Liu Ye, from now on, belongs to Titan Academy." Cheng Ye, veins bulging, shouted, "HMPH. Go. Beat them to pulp." Then, two pairs of contracted individuals from each side went up, transforming into their summoned beast forms, a giant thousand-knife mantis and the 10th-ranked poisonous spider king from the Kunpeng prodigy list. In a single exchange, the mantis was entangled in the giant web sprayed by the spider king, wrapped up like a dumpling. Due to the web's incredible resilience, the giant mantis couldn't break free, and the battle was decided in just 1 minute. Kunpeng Academy won. The scarred-faced, tattooed youth's smile froze. Cheng Ye laughed heartily. The second match was between the leopard from Titan Academy and the porcupine, ranked 5th on the Kunpeng prodigy ranking. 10 seconds later, the leopard, riddled with spikes, was severely injured and forced to revert to its summoned beast form, losing its fighting ability. Kunpeng Academy won. The scarred-faced, tattooed youth's smile froze, and he roared, "You're all a bunch of trash." Cheng Ye said sarcastically, "What's wrong? Getting angry because you couldn't win? Your Titan Academy is ranked 1st, you garbage." The Kunpeng prodigy on the prodigy ranking was overjoyed. Even though it's not an official competition, it feels so damn good to trample on Titan prodigies. That's true, these Titan prodigies are even trying to steal our goddess teaching assistant. No way. Goddess teaching assistant Liu Ye seems to be quite famous in all 10 academies. Yet, Goddess Liu was a famous beauty professor at Kunpeng Academy 100 years ago, and she's been a famous teaching assistant at Kunpeng Academy for 100 years now. Her fame has spread throughout all 10 academies. The Kunpeng side consisted of prodigies from the top 10 of Kunpeng Academy's prodigy rankings, all at the Grandmaster 7-star level or higher. The Titan side, on the other hand, consisted of students that Hong Tao is currently teaching. Apart from the scarred-faced tattooed youth, who is a Grandmaster 10-star, the others were only at the Grandmaster 4-star level. The scarred-faced tattooed youth, with a stern face, stopped a pair of Titan contractor prodigies who were about to go on stage, saying, "I alone am enough for the battles to come." With that, the scarred-faced tattooed youth and his contractor girl walked onto the arena together, transforming into a giant Titan ape with an SSS-level template. Kunpeng's side fielded the 4th-ranked Grandmaster 8-star on the prodigy ranking, the Raptor Vulture. Chirp! The Raptor Vulture swooped down from the sky like a meteorite, its sharp eyes fixed on the Titan ape, its steel claws ready to seize. The giant Titan ape raised its middle finger, and just as the vulture arrived, it grabbed the high-speed vulture at an uncanny angle and slammed it to the ground. With a thud, the earth trembled. Then, the Titan ape forcefully pulled to both sides, tearing the Raptor Vulture in two, forcing it out of the Void God Tower. In less than 10 seconds, Titan's side was victorious. The Titan ape pounded its massive chest, laughing loudly, "Kunpeng Academy, keep going. I've taken it all." Chapter 80, Teaching Assistant Liu Ya snatches the sachet. Seeing their leader win, and win so decisively, the Titan prodigies' morale soared, and they became overjoyed and excited. "Boss is mighty. Give them a good beating. With a boss on the field, Titan will surely win. We can go see our master's wife now." "That's right. Our master's wife belongs to Titan Academy. A bunch of trash trying to stop us from seeing her." Those disparaging words, and the reversal of the situation on the stage, caused the Kunpeng prodigies' expressions to change, turning grim. An unnamed fire ignited in each of their hearts. The Titan giant ape's immense power and domineering aura reminded the Kunpeng prodigies of the scenes where they were crushed by the Titan prodigies in last year's Academy Championship. They couldn't help but feel stage fright and didn't immediately go on stage. Could it be that today would repeat the disastrous scene of last year? The Titan ape roared with laughter, standing in the center of the arena, looking down on everything like a victorious king. "Kunpeng Academy? All trash. So many people, not a single one dares to step up. You trash, you think you can stop us from seeing our teacher's wife? Bah." The students, including Xiao Ye, turned ashen-faced from the merciless mockery. Xiao Ye looked at the top 5 on the Kunpeng prodigy ranking and said, "This concerns the face of our Kunpeng Academy. If we lose today, we'll be the laughingstock of all 10 academies for the next year. Everyone, please go up on stage and defeat him." HMPH. The Kunpeng prodigy contractor, ranked 2nd on the prodigy ranking, snorted coldly and stepped onto the arena with a solemn expression. Last time, it was the 4th-ranked Raptor Vulture who stepped onto the stage, but he had already been forced to withdraw from the Void God Tower. Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi, ranked 3rd on the prodigy ranking, were not present. This time, only he, the 2nd-ranked prodigy, could step onto the stage. The Titan ape raised a middle finger, its eyes filled with contempt. "One move, just one move, and I'll defeat you." The 2nd-ranked player on the prodigy ranking looked grim and roared, truly arrogant. In the blink of an eye, they activated their contract power, transforming into their summoned beast form, the armored demon crocodile. Its massive, elongated body lay prone on the ground, its entire body covered in golden armor, its enormous mouth filled with sharp teeth. Grandmaster 9-star, armored demon crocodile. Roar. The armored demon crocodile charged forward, activating its innate skill, indestructible, increases overall body hardness 5-fold. Its sharp teeth and golden armor greatly increased its attack and defense, and its gaping maw was about to bite down on the Titan giant ape. But in an instant, the Titan giant ape changed, berserk, increases size 10-fold, enhances all attributes 10-fold. Like a transformation of heaven and earth, the already enormous Titan giant ape instantly grew to 10 times its original size, reaching a height of 100 meters, its massive shadow casting a shadow over the entire arena in the sunlight. Crunch! The armored crocodile's gaping maw, now like a tiny ant, couldn't bite the gigantic Titan ape. It looked as if it had crashed into it head first, causing little damage but leaving itself dizzy and disoriented. A meteorite strike. The Titan ape leaped 300 meters into the air, its massive feet slamming down on the armored crocodile like a mountain crashing down. PFFT. The overwhelming pressure caused the dazed armored crocodile to cough up blood and fall unconscious, severely injured. One move, defeat. The SS rank template Grandmaster 9-star armored crocodile, compared to the SSS rank template Grandmaster 10-star Titan ape, was clearly superior in a single move. Who else? The terrifying Titan ape, 100 meters tall, roared, its deafening voice echoing across the entire grassland. Titan Fang's prodigy cheered with joy. Kunpeng Fang's mood was somber. The number 1 Kunpeng prodigy on the prodigy ranking gave a bitter smile and said, I admit defeat. Last year in the championship, I lost to this Titan giant ape. And I lost completely, defeated within 3 moves. The difference in combat power between an SS level template and an SSS level template is innate. With that, this Grandmaster level 10-star Kunpeng prodigy, the number 1 on the prodigy ranking, withdrew from the Void God Tower, leaving the student council and onlookers looking at each other in bewilderment. Cheng Yi's lips twitched. Damn it, now that this guy's gone, what's the point of fighting? There's no one left to fight. The members of the student council are all contractors outside the top 30 on the prodigy ranking. As for the prodigies within the top 30, they don't even bother joining the student council. And the second place winner has lost, and the first place winner has withdrawn from the Void God Tower. Is it really just a matter of admitting defeat? Does Cheng Yi really have to personally lead these Titan prodigies to see the goddess teaching assistant? On the other side, Xiao Ye, who was watching the battle in front of the virtual screen, raised an eyebrow and looked at Liu Ye beside him with a puzzled expression. Why was the teaching assistant putting his hand on her leg? And why was she rubbing his hand against her stockings? It felt so soft and nice. Luckily, Nangguang Xiao was focused on the fight on the other side and didn't notice. Xiao Ye leaned closer and whispered, Teaching assistant, what are you doing? Liu Ye held up Xiao Ye's hand and brought it to his nose, her face full of curiosity. How is it? Does it smell? Xiao Ye inhaled and shook his head. No, it doesn't smell. Liu Ye smiled happily, the curve of her lips harder to suppress than an AK. She snorted, now you know it doesn't smell, huh? Xiao Ye's face darkened. He retorted, Teaching assistant, you're talking about legs. Of course, legs don't smell. Liu Ye's smile froze. Did Xiao Ye mean her feet smelled? She really wanted to kick him in the mouth. Seeing Liu Ye's murderous glare, Xiao Ye took out the Yunbing brand black sachet from his pocket and smelled it. With a look of enjoyment, she exclaimed, It smells so good. That unique fragrance was truly one of a kind. Liu Ye pouted, somewhat dissatisfied. Xiao Ye clearly disliked her smell, which was why he took out the sachet to dispel the odor. However, this unique fragrance smelled somewhat familiar. Moreover, the material of that black sachet was somewhat similar too. Liu Ye looked down at the sheer black stockings on her legs. Taking advantage of Xiao Ye's inattention, Liu Ye snatched it and took a look, only to discover a shocking secret. You, how could you be so perverted? This is the Weistein's. Ugh. Her beautiful mouth was covered by Xiao Ye's hand. Xiao Ye said solemnly, Teaching assistant sister, watch your words. If the Weistein hears this, she'll kill me. Liu Ye's beautiful eyes widened. And she quickly shut her mouth. With the Weistein Yunbing's fiery temper, she might really do such a thing. After breaking free from Xiao Ye's hand, Liu Ye took the black sachet and sniffed it. The result was astonishing. Shocked, she whispered, Xiao Ye, can I have this? I love the smell the moment I smelled it, it smells so good. Xiao Ye shook his head violently, resolutely refusing, no way. I went through so much trouble to get one. Liu Ye threatened, if you don't give it to me, I'll tell the Weistein. Xiao Ye refused again, no, you have one yourself, why don't you make one? Liu Ye's beautiful eyes widened, and she suddenly realized, oh, right. Then, under Xiao Ye's stunned gaze, she took off her stockings. Chapter 81 The Ultimate Technique, 1000-Year Kill. Her originally fair and rosy skin was revealed, along with the smooth curves of her legs, and then her crystal-clear jade feet. Xiao Ye quickly looked away, as if he would explode if he looked any longer. He took out his sachet, wanting to compare the scents of teaching assistant Liu Ye and Weistein Yunbing. But to Xiao Ye's surprise, teaching assistant Liu Ye actually took a liking to his precious sachet and even tried to snatch it from him. And that's how things developed. Don't look at what you shouldn't see, don't listen to what you shouldn't hear. Xiao Ye's gaze was fixed on the virtual screen, watching the arena match, but out of the corner of his eye, He caught a glimpse of Liu Ye's extremely perverse behavior. He saw Liu Ye skillfully rolling up the indescribable black veil she had removed into a small ball of yarn. "No, I was just saying, you really want to come?" Furthermore, Liu Ye used energy to form delicate characters, perfectly adhering them to the small ball of paper, calling it Xiao Ye's exclusive sachet. Xiao Ye was startled. Did the teaching assistant want him to give it to someone? Who is this someone? It was him? Sure enough. Things were developing as Xiao Ye had predicted. Liu looked at her work with great satisfaction and held it to Xiao Ye's nose, asking curiously, "Does it smell bad?" Xiao Ye awkwardly sniffed it, and the result made his eyes widen. He exclaimed in surprise, "It actually smells good." It was another unique fragrance, though it couldn't compare to Yunbing brand perfume, it was still very distinctive. Liu Ye's lips curled into a smile, her heart filled with joy, the smile harder to suppress than a cannon. Of course my beautiful feet smell good." Finally, she had dispelled Xiao Ye's prejudice against her. Without prejudice, she was one step closer to winning him over. But why did Xiao Ye say actually? Liu Ye's beautiful eyes darted around, and she put the Yunbing brand black sachet into her pocket, saying with interest, "Xiao Ye, I'll trade you mine, this one's mine." With that, she placed the indescribable, thin gauze ball engraved with Xiao Ye's special sachet into Xiao Ye's hand. Xiao Ye was on the verge of tears, and could only silently accept it. He'd just asked the goddess like Weisting Yunbing for another one later. He was sure she'd be very generous and give him another one. If she didn't, he'd threaten her, no massage to eliminate his violent Taoist aura. Seeing that Xiao Ye didn't refuse, Liu was secretly delighted. This meant that in Xiao Ye's heart, she was no less important than Weisting Yunbing. At this moment, Nanguang Xiao exclaimed, covering her mouth with her small hand, "Oh my god, Cheng Yi actually went up. Can he beat that Titan giant ape?" Liu Ye and Xiao Ye's attention was drawn to this. The live broadcast on the virtual screen showed Cheng Yi and his contractor girl taking to the stage to personally fight the terrifyingly large Titan giant ape. Xiao Ye frowned. Rumor has it that Cheng Yi has always been an arrogant and domineering student council president. No one has ever mentioned his cultivation level or combat strength. This battle is very risky. Liu sat cross-legged, leaning against Xiao Ye, and analyzed, he can win. Cheng Yi is an SS-level Azure Dragon template. 10 years ago, he reached the 10-star Grandmaster realm. Now, 10 years later, his cultivation level has long since advanced to Grandmaster. As for which star Grandmaster he is, we don't know. This Titan giant ape is the son and daughter-in-law of the Titan Academy's dean, the Titan Supreme, but Cheng Yi is also the son of the Supreme. Hearing this, Xiao Ye and Nanguang Xiao became very interested in this battle. A battle between the sons of the Supreme should be very exciting. On the virtual screen, Cheng Yi and his contractor girl stepped onto the stage, calmly looking at the terrifying Titan ape, which stood 100 meters tall, and said indifferently, "I haven't made a move in many years. Today, I'll use you as a practice subject." The Titan ape sneered, "Come on, I also want to see how much the Vajra Supreme has nurtured you." Cheng Yi and the other girl immediately mobilized their contract power and began to summon the SS-level template Azure Dragon. Roar! Roar! A rough and violent sound drifted from the sky. Immediately afterwards, a giant dragon with wings and covered in blue scales appeared in the sky, its eyes looking down at the Titan ape. Grandmaster 5-star. The vast power of intent emanated, almost becoming tangible. "Was it your master who personally said that Aunt Liu is your master's wife?" the two-winged Azure Dragon asked. Titan ape, "Of course, otherwise do you think we're just making things up?" The twin-winged Azure Dragon sneered, "If your master acts recklessly and ruins Aunt Liu's reputation, he's dead." Titan ape smiled disdainfully, "What utter arrogance! When has my master ever wanted to ruin my mistress's reputation?" Boom! A deafening explosion erupted. It was Titan ape that had attacked. Its mountain-sized fist, carrying an incomparably fierce aura, slammed towards the twin-winged Azure Dragon. HMPH. The Azure Dragon flapped its wings violently, a sudden gust of wind arose, a violent hurricane swept past, and in an instant, it was behind Titan ape. Titan ape's mountain-sized fist missed, but it roared excitedly, "Good. Finally, I've met someone my age who can hold their own." Ha ha ha. This person was a battle maniac. The consciousness Cheng Yi's face darkened. He was 10 years older than the scarred, tattooed youth, yet he was being treated as a peer? This is an insult to him. This guy must be taught a lesson. Talent skill, hurricane power, controls wind power to create a storm attack, greatly increasing speed and attack power. Whoosh! The twin-winged azure dragon flapped its wings rapidly, its power reaching its peak. Numerous air blades spun, forming a violent hurricane that swept towards the Titan ape's head, targeting its eyes. The Titan ape, with its thick skin and bulging muscles, was covered in thick fur. Only its rear end and cheeks were weak points. Seeing the imminent attack, the Titan ape hurriedly covered its cheeks with its hands, then raised its terrifyingly large, hairy leg and kicked. Boom! The air exploded again. The twin-winged azure dragon, a western dragon, easily dodged the Titan ape's attack with a powerful flap of its wings, and circled behind the Titan ape's rear end, quickly unleashing a skill. This Grandmaster level 5-star beast is also a speed-type summon. In terms of speed, even a 10-star Grandmaster like the Titan ape can't keep up. Hurricane power, full power. Hundreds of wind spears, each 100 meters long, formed in the air. Go! With a command from the twin-winged azure dragon, the wind spears, like sharp swords, shot towards the giant Titan ape's rear end. Heh! Xiao Ye chuckled slyly. Unleashing a sinister move, ultimate technique, 1000-year kill. Because the Titan ape was shielding its face with its paws, blocking the hurricane attack from the front, its legs were still in midair, and its vision was limited, it didn't have time to react. The wind spear struck the Titan ape precisely in a certain part of its body, just as Xiao Ye had intended. AOW. A blood-curdling scream soared into the sky, echoing throughout the entire grassland. The Titan ape was in so much pain that its eyes felt like they were about to pop out. It clutched a certain part of its body with both hands, and with a leap, it jumped thousands of meters high like a monkey. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 82. Which students could withstand this test? Ouch! It hurts so much. The Titan ape was in excruciating pain, writhing and rolling on the arena, clutching its rear end. As the saying goes, the 10 fingers are connected to the heart, and the rear end is directly to the heart. One can imagine the immense pain it endured. Hiss. That's brutal. Damn. So pitiful. That's good, beat him up badly, it's satisfying. Haha, seeing that arrogant guy in such a state makes me feel great. That's right. We're definitely going to win this time, Titan trash, get back to where you came from. Seeing the Titan ape summoned by the scarred, tattooed young contractor writhing and jumping in such a miserable state, the Kunpeng prodigies felt incredibly satisfied. Titan trash, daring to be arrogant at Kunpeng Academy, deserved a good beating. The Titan's reaction, however, was different. Insidious, so insidious. A disgrace to humanity. Exactly. No martial ethics, resorting to sneak attacks. Let's have a face-to-face fight. So despicable. The 10 pairs of contractors from the Titan faction were seething with hatred for the twin-winged azure dragon's attack method. It was simply infuriating. How could anyone be so insidious, specifically targeting someone's shameful areas? In the sky, seeing the Titan giant ape's miserable state, the twin-winged azure dragon itself felt a tightness in its rear end. So pitiful. The twin-winged azure dragon looked at the Titan giant ape writhing in pain with a mocking expression, and said sarcastically, "Hey, I haven't had enough yet. You can't even handle this little bit of pain? Are you even a Titan giant ape? No way, no way, is this all the Titan giant ape can do? This is too trashy. PFFT. The Titan giant ape spat out a mouthful of blood in anger, its eyes bloodshot as it struggled to its feet, as if it were about to breathe fire. Teaching assistant Xiao Ye said with great interest, "The difference in their cultivation levels is too great, they're not even on the same level. The twin-winged azure dragon is toying with the Titan giant ape like a monkey. Moreover, judging from the twin-winged azure dragon's eyes, it seems it's about to unleash an even more insidious move." Oh, Xiao Ye's lips twitched. As a man, he could feel how painful that must be. But why were Nangguang and Liu Ye laughing so happily? Could it be that these two women possess some strange attributes? Hearing Xiao Ye's voice, both Liu Ye and Nangguang's beautiful eyes simultaneously turned towards Xiao Ye's back. Their curious gazes spoke volumes. Xiao Ye felt a tightness in a certain place, then raised his hand and flicked the forehead of the school beauty, Nangguangxiao. Ouch! Nangguangxiao winced in pain, rubbing her head. Xiao Ye, what are you doing? It hurts. Xiao Ye's starry eyes widened, and he said sternly, you're not allowed to develop any strange attributes. If Nangguangxiao developed any strange attributes, he, Xiao Ye, would be the one suffering in the end. So, he had to nip such attributes in the bud. Nangguangxiao's pretty face froze, and she shook her head violently. She just found it interesting, she hadn't developed any strange attributes. At this moment, Liu Yan, who was sitting cross-legged, spoke up, saying softly, Xiao Ye, this is perfectly normal. So don't blame Nangang. Xiao Ye's starry eyes widened, and he suddenly glanced at the back of the most beautiful teaching assistant, Liu Yan. Was this a serious topic? Could it be that the teaching assistant had some strange attribute? Ugh! Feeling Xiao Ye's somewhat improper gaze, Liu Yan blushed and said coquettishly, if you look again, I'll gouge your eyes out. Then Liu Yan secretly leaned over and whispered something in Xiao Ye's ear. She said, don't look now, but you can look during the massage. Xiao Ye's eyes widened in surprise, his jaw almost dropping. Holy crap, which student could resist this kind of test? Which student could resist this kind of temptation? After recovering, Xiao Ye said seriously, teaching assistant, don't distort my noble character. I'm just being helpful and practicing traditional virtues. Liu gave him a charmingly low look. Little brat, taking advantage and still acting innocent. If anyone else dared to look at her, Liu Yan, like that, she would have kicked them so hard they'd be crippled and sent tens of thousands of meters away, so they could be reincarnated sooner. Nangguangxiao chuckled again, saying, you guys watch the live stream, Cheng Yi's up to his old tricks again. That Titan ape's got what's coming to it, he. Liu Yan and Xiao Ye were drawn to the spectacle. On the arena, the Titan ape finally caught its breath and realized the twin-winged azure dragon's power. It said solemnly, you are very strong. A worthy opponent, but I'm not weak either. Let's have another match, one move to decide the winner. How about it? The twin-winged azure dragon's dark eyes flashed with mockery, its mouth tumbling out, one move? I've only just warmed up, I haven't had my fill yet. You're not going to give up, are you? No way, no way. The son of the Titan Supreme, is that all? That's all? The Titan ape's eyebrows twitched, its teeth clenched. I'm practically dying of pain, and you've only just warmed up? Damn it, is the difference between a Grandmaster and a Great Grandmaster really that huge? Damn it. They're about to break through. I must finish this quickly, dragging it out won't do me any good. I am, after all, the son of the Supreme One. I may lose the battle, but I won't lose face. I said one move, and that's it. The Titan ape roared angrily, its powerful aura surging forth as it immediately unleashed its innate skill, roaring intimidation, sonic attack that intimidates the enemy's mind, causing them to be stunned for a period of time. The sonic attack, imbued with intense power, spread outwards. This move was primarily designed for surprise. An attack based on sound is easily struck if the enemy is unprepared. But who is Cheng Ye? He is the son of the Supreme One, the student council president for 10 years, and he has already gathered detailed information on many students from 10 academies, including the Titan ape. Therefore, the twin-winged azure dragon was prepared for this sonic attack, using wind power to create sound barriers, greatly weakening the attack. By the time the sonic attack reached the azure dragon, it was already at the end of its offensive, with little effect remaining. Then, the two-winged azure dragon let out a sinister laugh. Hee! Hundreds of sharp blades, formed from wind power, hurtled towards the Titan ape's crotch. With a whoosh, carrying the swiftness of 1,000 blades unleashed simultaneously, they flashed with a chilling light. A direct hit, and everything was gone. AOW. A blood-curdling roar soared into the sky. Chapter 83 Liu Yang, Plan 2 is in progress. The Titan ape clutched its bleeding wound, its terrifyingly large face contorted in agony. Its screams echoed across the vast grassland, resounding in the ears of all the prodigies. Both boys and girls felt a chill run down their spines, their gazes towards the twin-winged azure dragon now tinged with awe. You. The Titan ape didn't even finish its sentence before collapsing from the excruciating pain, forced to disengage from its summoned form and exit the Void God Tower. Thankfully, this was within the Void God Tower. Had it been in a real-world battle, The Titan ape would be permanently crippled, its combat power greatly diminished, and both contractors would be severely affected. Kunpeng Feng wins. The twin-winged azure dragon, 20 meters in size, hovered in mid-air, its wings flapping, its domineering eyes sweeping over the Titan Fang prodigies. It said calmly, "Do you submit?" The Titan Fang prodigies dared not meet the azure dragon's gaze, lowering their heads and remaining silent. Even a Titan giant ape at the 10th level of Grandmaster had lost so thoroughly. These prodigies, whose highest level was only 4th level of Grandmaster, would surely lose too. HMPH. The two-winged azure dragon disengaged, transforming back into Xiao Ye and the contractor girl. Xiao Ye looked at the Titan prodigies and said, "You lost, get out. Aunt Liang, you are not worthy to watch. And go back and tell your master that Aunt Liang is a good friend of my father, Vajra Supreme, and also my uncle Xiao's teacher. He better not mess around, or he's dead." The Titan prodigies withdrew from the Void God Tower. The Kunpeng prodigies, on the other hand, were overjoyed. Especially the Kunpeng Academy students who participated in the Academy Championship, all beaming with smiles. Being able to trample on the Titan prodigies felt incredibly good. With the matter concluded, everyone's opinion of Xiao Ye changed somewhat. If Xiao Ye hadn't refused to participate in the championship, the Kunpeng students would probably have been the champions last year. Everyone recognized the power of the student council president. After finishing, Xiao Ye remembered something and happily dragged his contractor girl away. Meanwhile, in front of the virtual screen watching the live stream, Nangguang Xiao slapped the table and shouted, "Good. Well done." The plump young woman seemed to really like that insidious attack method, her face showing extreme excitement. Xiao Ye felt a pang of worry. Could it be that his wife, Nangguang Xiao, had really developed some strange attribute? He reached out and pinched Nangguang Xiao's delicate cheek, his concern evident in his eyes. The plump young woman looked at Xiao Ye with a dazed expression, her beautiful eyes revealing a clear yet foolish gaze. Liu leaned back on the sofa, her sexy body fiddling with a Cloud Ice brand black sachet, thoughtfully watching Xiao Ye's handsome profile, a second plan quietly forming in her mind. Forced sex, that's right. This second plan, no more stealing hearts, too troublesome, let's get straight to the point. After exchanging sachets, Liu was certain that Xiao Ye didn't reject her and even had feelings for her. If Xiao Ye's character was good, then she could proceed with her second plan. As long as Xiao Ye was of good character, he would naturally take responsibility for her. Then she would have won him over, even if the methods were somewhat underhanded. Next, she would need to observe Xiao Ye's character directly or inquire about his deeds indirectly. Otherwise, what if Xiao Ye abandoned her after she implemented her second plan? How would she face him then? Kill him? Or snip the culprit with a pair of scissors? Ding dong. The doorbell rang. Xiao Ye opened the door, and Xiao Ye and his contractor girl arrived. Xiao Ye looked expectant and asked, "Uncle Xiao, did you watch the Void God Tower live stream?" Xiao Ye nodded and welcomed Xiao Ye in. Uncle Xiao, I really did a great job this time. I successfully stopped those Titan trash who wanted to harm Aunt Liang, Xiao Ye said happily. Liu said, "You did a good job." Xiao Ye was surprised to see the most beautiful teaching assistant here. Good heavens, they had been working themselves to the bone in the Void God Tower just to prevent the Titan prodigy from seeing Liu Yang. And Liu was watching the live stream and having fun here with Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye was very envious. "Thank you for the compliment, Aunt Liu." The contractor girl smiled shyly. Xiao Ye was very domineering and arrogant, but his contractor seemed very shy, even a little introverted. Xiao Ye couldn't understand how these two had formed a contract. "What do you want?" Xiao Ye asked. Xiao Ye rubbed his hands excitedly and said, "Uncle Xiao, Aunt Nangguang, can you delete the recording from yesterday? I guarantee the student council has been completely reformed. Their conduct has been comprehensively improved." Xiao Ye's lips twitched. "You came all this way just for this?" Nangguang Xiao tilted her head and pondered for a moment, finally asking Xiao Ye, "The student council has indeed changed a lot, Xiao Ye. Do you think we should delete that video?" Yesterday, Nangguang Xiao used a video recorder to record the domineering and forceful way the volunteers and student council forced freshmen to pay money. Xiao Ye had come to ask for that evidence to be deleted. Seeing an opportunity, Xiao Ye's eyes lit up, and he hurriedly patted his chest and assured him, "Uncle Xiao, the improved style will continue forever." Xiao Ye rubbed his chin and said, Deleting it is fine too. We have indeed seen the change in the student council style. Xiao got up and found the video recorder in the corner, tossing it to Xiao Ye, saying, "Here, it's all in." Xiao Ye was overjoyed, chuckling, "Thank you, Uncle Xiao." He carried the video recorder out as if it were a treasure. The shy contractor girl hurriedly followed. Xiao Ye scratched his head, puzzled, and said, "So happy? If you do anything bad, I just need to tell Brother Chang. There's no need for a recording device." Xiao nodded in deep agreement, "Yes." Xiao Ye, who was walking towards the door, almost stumbled and fell. It was his contractor girl who caught him before he fell. Xiao Ye and Xiao came in a hurry and left in a hurry. Liu Ya saw everything and covered her mouth with her hand, very surprised. "I was wondering why the student council, which was supposed to be awful these past 2 days, was trending on the official website and receiving praise from freshmen and upperclassmen. So it was you two who made President Xiao Ye make a complete reform?" Xiao retorted, "It wasn't me. It was all because of Xiao Ye that the student council reformed." "Really?" Liu was even more surprised. It seemed that Xiao Ye was very positive and had very good values. Upon reaching this conclusion, a deep joy appeared in Liu Ya's beautiful eyes. Chapter 84 Class Teacher, this is a manifestation of a sense of responsibility. Xiao Ye's values are quite good, very positive. Liu would rate his character at 60 out of 100. Liu was curious about Xiao Ye's sense of responsibility. Patriotism and protecting one's family are both the manifestations of responsibility. Someone who uses and discards, only using when valuable and abandoning when not, is a typical egoist, and it's hard to say how responsible they are. Therefore, Liu Ya wanted to focus on verifying Xiao Ye's sense of responsibility. At this moment, Xiao Ye and Xiao simultaneously received a message. Opening it, they saw it was from the class advisor of the elite class. Tomorrow's class will be taught by the class advisor, focusing on the elite ranking and its ranking. All students must attend. Liu leaned closer to Xiao Ye, thoughtfully saying, "First-year students usually don't have the elite ranking introduced so early. Why is your class advisor introducing it so soon? I wonder what their purpose is." Being so close, Xiao Ye could clearly feel Liu Ya's breath and her unique fragrance. Looking down, he couldn't even see her feet. The saying goes, if you can't see your toes when you look down, you're a beauty beyond compare. Liu Ya, Yunbing, and Xiao were such beauties. Liu noticed Xiao Ye's gaze and gave a soft snort. Time passed quickly, and it was the next morning. 10 minutes before class, all the contractor prodigies in the elite class had arrived, including Xiao Ye, Xiao, and Cheng Bingxi. The class teacher and Liu Ya in her beast-eared form were also present. Perhaps because the elite class was different, the two class teachers began the lesson before class even started. The prodigy ranking is a comprehensive ranking of all contractor students at Kunpeng Academy, from 1st to 1,200th. That's right, all contractor students from freshman to senior year are on the list. However, the lower the year, the lower the ranking on the prodigy ranking. The top 300 on the prodigy ranking are mostly senior prodigies, 300 to 600 are mostly junior prodigies, and you freshmen are at the bottom of the prodigy ranking, from 900th to 1,200th. The prodigy contractors were speechless, discussing amongst themselves. What kind of prodigy ranking is this? Seniors are older, of course their cultivation is higher, so they're ranked at the top. Exactly, the prodigy ranking should be divided into 4, one for each year. Yet, or the prodigy ranking should be ranked by aptitude and potential, not strength and cultivation. These young-faced prodigy contractors were all complaining about the flaws in the prodigy rankings arrangement. They were all top prodigies in their high school, and now they were ranked after 900th, which they found very unacceptable. Xiao Ye shook his head. These students still hadn't experienced the cruelty of the apocalypse. Hearing the disdain of these prodigies and seeing Xiao Ye's actions, the two class teachers' eyes flashed, and they shouted, "Quiet!" It was as if bombs had exploded in the ears of all the students. The deafening sound silenced them all. The male class teacher smiled at Xiao Ye and said, "Xiao Ye, what are your thoughts on the prodigy ranking?" Xiao Ye smiled calmly and said, "I think the ranking rules of the prodigy ranking are very appropriate." "Oh?" The male class teacher's eyes lit up. "How so?" The other prodigies looked at Xiao Ye with suspicion. The prodigy ranking was disadvantageous to them, as the chosen ones, who could bear being ranked after 900th? Xiao Ye explained, This is the apocalypse, the era of summoned beasts. The strong are respected, the weak are merely ants, reduced to vassals, while the strong have a voice. A genius is someone who can grow and develop, otherwise, they're just a corpse. Therefore, I think it's appropriate to rank the prodigies ranking based on overall strength. Silence. The prodigies were stunned into silence, all shocked by Xiao Ye's words. In the apocalypse, the strong are respected, and only the strong have a voice. The weak can only become vassals. This is the truest depiction of this apocalyptic era. Clap clap clap. Cat Ear Girl Ear led the applause, followed by the prodigies, and thunderous applause erupted from the classroom, rising and falling like waves. After the applause subsided, both homeroom teachers said, "Well said." So, do you still think this ranking of the prodigies ranking is appropriate? The homeroom teachers looked around. The top-tier contractors all agreed, saying, "It's suitable." Yes, the strong are respected, and the ranking rules of the top-tier ranking are very suitable for this era. It's right, we're just being old-fashioned. Yet, at worst, we can climb to the top of the top-tier ranking again in 3 years. Anyway, we're on the top-tier ranking, we're the top freshmen. The class teacher narrowed his eyes, then raised his hand and waved it. Instantly, a ranking appeared on the virtual screen in front of the teachers. Ranking of prodigies. First, Holy Golden Lion, Grandmaster 10 stars, one of the 4 great prodigies, Li Dan, Xie. Second, Armored Crocodile, Grandmaster 9 stars, one of the 4 great prodigies, Gu Hai, Zheng Mei. Third, Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox, Grandmaster 7 stars, 1 great prodigy, Xiao Ye, Cheng Bingxi. 900th, Dark Night Wolf, 7th rank, 1 great prodigy, Bai Zhenhao, Mo Huking. 1200th, Illusionary Butterfly, 3rd rank, 1 great prodigy, Hong Wei, Zheng Yan. After looking at the entire ranking from top to bottom, some of the prodigy contractors suddenly gasped. Hiss. Aren't Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi, who ranked 3rd, from our class? It seems so, they're marked as top-tier prodigies. Damn, Xiao Ye and the others are already Grandmaster 7 stars? I'm only at the 3rd level. I'm ranked 900th, and I'm only at the 7th level. At this moment, all the students looked at Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi in shock, their hearts filled with admiration. The 2 class teachers smiled. The main purpose of their class was to set an example for these arrogant and conceited prodigies. To let them see that there are always people better than them, and there's always something beyond their understanding. Liu Ye's beautiful eyes revealed a smile. She understood the class teacher's intention. At this moment, the class teachers waved their hands again, and the content on the virtual screen changed, transforming into vast grassland. A golden dragon and a 2-tailed white fox used their innate skills to control the beast tide, allowing other summoned beasts to kill the magical beasts. Xiao Ye raised an eyebrow. Wasn't this the scene from his college entrance exam? The class teacher's voice rang out. Xiao Ye, Nanguang Xiao, and Cheng Bingxi, the 3 top scorers in the college entrance examination, single-handedly propelled their base city's overall college entrance examination ranking from last place to 9th in the nation. There are 10 super base cities in the country, and even a low-level wilderness base city surpasses 1 super base city. The assembled prodigies widened their eyes in astonishment. They never expected the top scorers to come from a low-level base city. From last place to 9th in the nation, how many magical beasts did they kill? The class teacher continued, that's not the point. The point is, look at these 3 top scorers, they use their own advantages to help other students in their base city achieve better results, allowing their base city to reach 9th place nationwide. This demonstrates friendship and a sense of responsibility. All students must learn from them. A video played on the virtual screen, showing the golden dragon and the 2-tailed white fox controlling the beast tide, while the other students slayed the magical beasts. Behind the crowd, the beast ear girl Liu Ya shouted excitedly, "Yes, this is a manifestation of friendship towards classmates and a sense of responsibility towards the base city that nurtured us." Xiao Ye looked at her in astonishment. Why was she shouting so loudly? And why was she so surprised and happy? Chapter 85 Liu Yan, shopkeeper, pour out 1 cup. Liu was overjoyed. She was finally certain that Xiao Ye was a man she could entrust her life to. In her more than 100 years of teaching experience, she had never seen such outstanding and virtuous prodigies as Xiao Ye and his 2 companions. She was always very accurate in judging people, and at this moment, she would give Xiao Ye a score of 100. In her extreme excitement, Liu Ye forgot that she was still in the classroom. When she came to her senses, she found that all the students were staring at her in astonishment. What do you all think? Liu Ye's pretty face flushed red. The beautiful teaching assistant looked over, and the prodigy contractors all lowered their heads in shame. Damn, during the college entrance exam, I only cared about myself. Killing even one more monster was a bonus. How could I possibly care about others? Hey, who wasn't? When I was killing monsters, I even had to fight with others for them. Oh, compared to the 3 top scorers in the college entrance exam, we seem like clowns. At this moment, the 2 class teachers led Xiao Ye and the other 2 to the high platform and said, the reason why we humans were able to survive the apocalyptic wave thousands of years ago is because we had predecessors like Xiao Ye, Nangguangxiao, and Chang Bingxi who sacrificed their lives for humanity, allowing humanity to continue. They are our role models, exemplars worthy of our learning. Instantly, the evaluation of Xiao Ye and the other 2 in the elite class was elevated. Excellent. The 2 class teachers felt that the desired effect of this lesson had been achieved. These elite contractors had a goal, a role model, and they would relentlessly pursue it. Time passed quickly, and 2 hours went by, marking the end of today's class. At this moment, the class teacher walked up to Xiao Ye and the other 2, smiling, the 3 of you have already reached the 7-star Grandmaster level. From now on, you only need to attend major exams. It's fine if you don't come to class on weekdays. As for the academic knowledge points, you can arrange your own study time. Nangguangxiao and Cheng Bingxi jumped up happily. Xiao Ye frowned. What if I encounter difficult knowledge points? And if I don't come to class, I won't see the lecturer? Liu blinked her beautiful eyes, staring at Xiao Ye with a hungry gaze, saying, I'm the best at that. Leave it to me. Nangguangxiao and Cheng Bingxi were still basking in the joy of not having to attend class. Regardless of the era, everyone hates going to class. But Xiao Ye was startled by Liu Ye's fiery gaze. He felt like a defenseless sheep being stared at by a wolf that hadn't eaten for months. Something's changed. The teaching assistant's gaze has changed. Xiao Ye could clearly sense it. Liu Ye's gaze was truly terrifying. Goodbye, class teacher and teaching assistant. Xiao Ye hurriedly pulled Nangguangxiao and Cheng Bingxi away. Liu Ye saw her sheep running away and hurriedly chased after them with her long legs. The female class teacher asked the male class teacher, you allow them to skip class? What if they do poorly on the big exam? The male class teacher confidently replied, impossible. The female class teacher was speechless. The male class teacher pointed to the teaching assistant Liu Ye who had chased after them and said, with the most beautiful teaching assistant here, do you think they will fall behind in their academic subjects? No. The female class teacher suddenly realized Liu Ye's knowledge and teaching skills far surpassed theirs. In private, they had to respectfully call Liu Ye senior. With senior Liu Ye following them, Xiao Ye and his 2 friends' grades would only be better and more outstanding than their teaching. On the main road below the teaching building, a beautiful figure followed Xiao Ye and his 2 friends. Xiao Ye, Xiao, Bingxi. You've already climbed to 3rd place on the prodigy ranking right after entering school. I've decided to throw a party to celebrate. The voluptuous Liu Ye, hands on her hips, blocked Xiao Ye's path, her delicate face beaming with smiles. Xiao Ye looked at the teaching assistant's radiant smile, but a sense of foreboding rose within him. He felt something unfortunate was about to happen. And the source of this was none other than the teaching assistant, Liu Ye. Great. Great. There must be lots of delicious food at a party. I love parties. Cheng Bingxi's beautiful eyes sparkled. Nangguangxiao echoed excitedly, agreed. Absolutely. Xiao Ye looked at them helplessly. These 2 were foodies, they were truly birds of a feather. Otherwise, Cheng Bingxi wouldn't have accepted Nangguangxiao so quickly. Wait? Xiao Ye raised his hand. Nangguangxiao and Cheng Bingxi looked at Xiao Ye expectantly, their little faces showing grievance. Xiao Ye, you won't disagree, will you? Hearing this, Liu Ye also became nervous. The party was just an excuse. Her real purpose in wanting to throw a party was to implement her second plan. As long as the second plan succeeded, after tomorrow, she would be Xiao Ye's 3rd contracted beast girl. Therefore, Liu valued this party very much. Oh. Xiao Ye choked for a moment, then said helplessly, of course not. Oh yeah. That's great. That's awesome. Nangguangxiao and Cheng Bingxi jumped up and cheered. Liu was overjoyed, her happy lips curving into a wide smile that was hard to suppress. Xiao Ye took out 3 small kunpeng figurines with hanging straps from his pocket. They were small and exquisite, only the size of a thumb. He hung 2 of the charms around the slender necks of Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Bingxi respectively, instructing them, "These are protective charms given to us by Din Yangxi. If we are in danger, they will instantly teleport us to Din Yangxi, who will guarantee our safety." As he spoke, Xiao Ye also hung the last small kunpeng figurine around his own neck. "Is that so? Then thank you very much, Din Yangxi," the 2 girls said gratefully. Xiao Ye nodded, glancing at Liu Ye, whose sexy figure spoke volumes. Liu Ye's lips twitched, a hint of anger flashing in her hungry, beautiful eyes. Fine. Xiao Ye definitely thinks she has ulterior motives. What? Although she wanted to win over Xiao Ye, she didn't intend to put him in danger, she didn't intend to kill him. Then, Liu Ye personally took the 3 of them shopping in Shanghai. This was the first time the 3 of them had gone out of the Shanghai Academy. First, at the strong suggestion of Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Bingxi, they went to the monster market and purchased more than 10 kinds of Grandmaster-level monster meat. All of these were plump and flavorful monster meats, including both land and sea monster meats, commonly known as seafood. They bought enough for several meals. The purchase only cost 1 low-grade Grandmaster crystal core, provided by Liu Yan. They didn't need to carry the monster meat back themselves, they could simply hire someone to deliver it. Next, at Liu Ya's suggestion, the 4 of them entered a street lined with shops selling wine. A cunning glint appeared in Liu Ya's beautiful eyes as she excitedly pulled Xiao Ye to select various fine wines brewed from high-level monster meat. The higher the level of the monster meat, the higher the alcohol content and the better the aroma of the wine. Some were said to make one drunk after just 1 sip. "Shopkeeper, bring out your shop's prized possession," Liu ordered magnanimously, hands on her hips. Chapter 86 Xiao Ye, this is too unfair, we must pay it back. After buying everything, Xiao Ye and the 3 stunning beauties returned to Villa number 001 in the 3-character Lakeside Villa district. The party was to be held in Xiao Ye's villa. Villa number 10, belonging to the most beautiful widowed teaching assistant Leah, was decorated in Assyrian style, which would spoil the atmosphere for a party. Liu complained inwardly, "This is troublesome. This isn't her main battlefield." Liu Yan, Nangguang Xiao, and Cheng Bingxi went into the kitchen to prepare dishes and fruits. Xiao Ye wanted to go in and help, but Liu Yan pushed him out. "Let us do it, little brother." Liu Yan's beautiful eyes glanced at him in an indescribable way. Xiao Ye was very unconvinced and retorted, "I'm not little." He was already 18, and being called a little brother made Xiao Ye very indignant. Liu rolled her eyes at him, "I haven't tried it, how would I know?" Xiao Ye's eyes widened. Liu was probably referring to his age, right? Probably, right? But her words sounded a little inappropriate. Seeing Xiao Ye's unconvinced expression, Liu Yan assumed he was angry and tried to comfort him. "Oh. Although I haven't met the teaching assistant before, there will be opportunities in the future, I promise." "Xiao Ye. Teaching assistant, what are you talking about? Does she want a younger woman to date a younger man?" Xiao Ye quickly fled back to the living room to wait. Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Bingxi soon came out with fruits and drinks, but they looked disappointed. Xiao Ye asked and learned that the 2 women had extremely poor cooking skills and had never cooked before. They were only a hindrance in the kitchen, and even cut their fingers with a knife. Half an hour later, all the dishes, drinks, wine, pastries, and fruits were ready. Looking at the table full of delicious dishes, Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Bingxi's beautiful eyes sparkled. "Wow! This is my favorite cake. This is my favorite python meat." Leah, seeing the 2 girls' joyful faces, happily said, "You like it? I'll make it for you every day from now on." It was called a party, but it was really just the 4 of them eating together. Liu Ya glanced at Xiao Ye and said, "Xiao Ye, you're a man, you drink alcohol, and the 3 of us weak women drink beverages?" Xiao Ye looked puzzled. "You're weak women?" Nangguang Xiao teased, "That's right, the 3 of us drink beverages, and the men drink alcohol." Cheng Bingxi winked and said coquettishly, "Oh, Xiao Ye, husband, just listen to Sister Liu Yan." "All right then." Xiao Ye nodded. Before his transmigration, he was a heavy drinker, and he shouldn't be much less so in this life. The 4 of them then began to eat. Half an hour later, Xiao Ye underestimated the power of the high-grade magical beast meat and fine wine, and fell into deep sleep. In his sleep, Xiao Ye had a dream. This dream was incredibly realistic, feeling like it actually happened. He dreamt that the most beautiful teaching assistant, Xie Ye, was intimate with him, and then, like a puppet, he was being sexually assaulted by Liu Yan. He woke up the next day. Holy crap! Xiao Ye exclaimed in shock. Liu was clinging to him like an octopus, completely naked. And they were still in bed. This was a secondary bedroom, not the master bedroom. Xiao Ye hurriedly pushed Liu Yan away, accidentally touching something indescribable. He then dressed and went to the living room, sitting on the sofa, his mind still unsettled. Damn it! The top scorer in the college entrance exam, I was actually sexually assaulted. And the person was the most beautiful teaching assistant, Liu Yan. What a loss, such a loss. He wondered if Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Bingxi had discovered it, otherwise, it would be difficult to explain. In the secondary bedroom, Liu Yan opened her beautiful eyes. Actually, she had been awake for a while. Her pretty face flushed slightly, and she thought to herself, bastard. Bastard. You just ran away like that. What am I supposed to do if you run away? I let you take advantage of me for nothing. No way. Absolutely not. You have to take responsibility. Cursing and swearing, Liu Yan didn't even bother to put on her clothes. She rushed out of the second bedroom and into the living room, pointing at Xiao Ye's nose and pouting. Xiao Ye, you did this to me, don't you have anything to say? How can I face anyone if word gets out? Why? Being a widow already has enough gossip. If another one comes out, I won't live anymore. As she spoke, Liu Yan's eyes reddened, and a look of grievance appeared on her beautiful face. Xiao Ye was startled. His surprise wasn't in Liu Yan's words, but in the fact that she had come out so openly. Xiao Ye pointed at Liu Yan's body and reminded her, teaching assistant, before saying all this, shouldn't you pay attention to your appearance? Liu Yan followed Xiao Ye's gaze, exclaimed and hurriedly returned to her bedroom. 10 seconds later, she emerged fully dressed. Pointing at Xiao Ye's nose again, she said coquettishly, Xiao Ye, you have to take responsibility for me, or I won't live anymore. Xiao Ye. He regretted it a little. He shouldn't have reminded her. The scenery was so beautiful, he hadn't had enough of admiring it yet. Especially the most beautiful teaching assistant, Liu Yan, one of the 3 goddesses of Kunpeng Academy. However, Xiao Ye was very unconvinced by Liu Yan's words, saying, teaching assistant, don't think I don't know. You were the one who attacked me. I didn't even move a muscle. Liu Yan's pretty face flushed. So he knew everything. But how could Liu let Xiao Ye off the hook? She said with a disappointed expression, I don't care, it's already happened. Xiao Ye said with a serious expression, teaching assistant, that's not right. What's wrong? Liu felt very wronged and was about to cry. At this moment, she wasn't the confident most beautiful teaching assistant, she wasn't the strategist first professor, she was just a delicate little woman. Xiao Ye's irresponsible rebuttal made her feel very disappointed and lonely. In the end, had she misjudged him? Xiao Ye's lips twitched, a hint of impatience in his voice. Why the hell are you crying? If Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Bingxi find out, I'm doomed. Seeing Xiao Ye's impatient expression, Liu Yan felt even more aggrieved. A single, crystal clear tear rolled down her cheek. She looked pitiful, a sight to behold. Xiao Ye's face twitched, and he held up a finger, saying, of course it's wrong. Teaching assistant sister. If you want me to take responsibility, it's simple. Just one thing. Liu Yan's dull eyes suddenly brightened, as if the world had suddenly become bright and sunny. She weakly asked, what is it? Xiao Ye's lips curled into a smile. You and I will have a clear and honest exercise, and then I'll take responsibility for you. I didn't see anything yesterday, I was like a puppet, I suffered so much. Liu was dumbfounded. Xiao Ye grumbled, HMPH. As a dignified man, how can I be manipulated by a woman? I can't let this go. I'll definitely get my revenge. Liu covered her mouth with her small hand, chuckled, and said coquettishly, you rascal. If you take responsibility for me, we'll be together. Then you can do whatever you want. Xiao Ye shook his head, it's not the same. Homegrown flowers are never as fragrant as wildflowers. Ugh. Oh no, I've said too much? Oh no, Sister Liu, let me explain. Liu Yan put her hands on her hips, her mood brightening, and pouted, okay, you, Xiao Ye, So that's what you were thinking. Xiao Ye hugged Liu, saying, "Don't worry, since the teaching assistant trusts me, Xiao Ye, of course I'll take responsibility." I'm relieved to hear you say that." Liu Ya's anxious heart finally settled down. From then on, she was no longer a widow, she was a woman with a husband. Chapter 87. Two women, chop up the murder weapon. However, the grass is always greener on the other side. Liu secretly remembered Xiao Ye's words. Her husband from 100 years ago, after making a contract with her, almost never touched her, spending his days visiting his old flames outside, which is why she still retained her virginity. The reason Liu was so shameless, could tell dirty jokes, and knew many puns related to sex was because she had a little quirk. She loved watching certain explicit videos. Her husband, who had never touched her and had been dead for over 100 years, spent his days seeking other women, ultimately meeting a tragic end. So Liu Ye raised her small, white hand and grabbed Xiao Ye's private parts, her beautiful face revealing a fierce expression, and said coquettishly, "Now I'm your beast girl too. If you dare to seek other women, I'll kill you." Xiao Ye shrank back in fright. Liu Ye's serious eyes didn't seem to be joking. No, absolutely not," Xiao Ye repeatedly assured her. Having received the assurance, Liu Ye nodded and let go. But then she became troubled again, a bitter and troubled expression appearing on her pretty face. "But how am I supposed to explain this to Xiao and Binxi? Besides, I'm your teaching assistant, over 100 years older than you, it's like an old cow eating young grass." Xiao Ye shook his head and corrected her, "It's a cow eating young grass." Liu possessed the fruits of Nangguang Xiao's labor and Cheng Binxi's long legs, a combination of double advantages. Hearing this, Liu Ye rolled her eyes at Xiao Ye, 1,000 charms flashing across her face in an instant, and said coquettishly, "You're still joking around at a time like this? Humph, what if Xiao and Binxi don't accept this old woman?" Xiao Ye corrected her, "You're not an old woman, you're a big cow." With a lifespan of the great venerable Liu Ye at 800 years, at just over 100 years old and not yet 200, she was equivalent to an ordinary person in their early 20s, just recently coming of age. Seeing that he didn't take her words seriously, Liu Ye stamped her foot impatiently and said angrily, "Hey, be serious. After all, I'm the third party. If they don't accept me, I'll be very upset." Xiao Ye's expression became serious, and he frowned, saying, "It is indeed very troublesome." After thinking for a while, his eyes suddenly lit up, and he clapped his hands, saying, "I've got it. I have a way." Liu Ye's pretty face lit up with joy. "What's your way?" Xiao Ye pushed Liu Ye into the kitchen, letting her use her best cooking skills to prepare the dishes and foods that Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Binxi liked the most. Liu was very happy, cooking was her forte. "If it works, you can do whatever you want on our wedding night." Liu leaned over and kissed Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye's heart pounded. "You said it yourself." Liu pushed Xiao Ye out of the kitchen. "It's not successful yet. We'll talk about it after it's successful." Xiao Ye rubbed his chin, returned to the sofa in the living room, thought for a moment, and went upstairs to the master bedroom with a 3-meter long and wide bed. Opening the door, Xiao Ye found Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Binxi embracing, their eyes closed. From Xiao Ye's perspective, they appeared to be still asleep. He glanced at them, then closed the door and returned to the living room. He decided to wait for Liu Ye to finish cooking before waking them. After all, the food was the ultimate weapon. As soon as Xiao Ye left, Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Binxi instantly opened their eyes, then sat fully dressed on the edge of the bed, their beautiful eyes blazing with anger. They had been pretending to be asleep, their feet under the covers had been scratching themselves. "That scumbag. He's infuriating. He's been cheating on me again. Yet, let's find a chance to cut off his tools," Cheng Binxi said, brandishing her claws. "That's exactly what I'm thinking." Nangguang Xiao nodded fiercely. "Then let's find a chance, tonight." Cheng Binxi was still seething with anger. "Huh?" Nangguang Xiao blinked. "So fast? I'm a little reluctant. It's such a waste to cut it off." Cheng Binxi's eyelids drooped. "Actually, I'm reluctant too, but he betrayed us. He has to be punished, otherwise he'll keep cheating on us." The two of them discovered Xiao Ye and Liu Ye's affair last night. But by then, it was too late to change the fact. HMPH. Let's see how Xiao Ye explains himself. He's just a troublemaker. Cheng Binxi pulled Nangguang Xiao downstairs. As soon as they saw him, They saw Xiao Ye lounging with his legs crossed, leisurely eating fruit. He was humming a tune, lying on his side on the sofa, looking very content. Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Bingxi were instantly furious. Fine. He doesn't even care. I'm going to bite him to death. Cheng Bingxi rushed over angrily, grabbed Xiao Ye's wrist, and bit down. Nangguang Xiao followed suit, running over, lifting Xiao Ye's foot, and biting down as well. They bit down really hard. Ouch! Xiao Ye hissed in pain, exclaiming, "Damn it, are you guys dogs?" Cheng Bingxi bit her wrist, refusing to let go, and said, "Zha nan, I'll bite you." Nangguang Xiao bit her foot, her voice muffled, "It's that Zha nan." Xiao Ye's lips twitched, so they already knew. "Xiao, stop biting. What if you get athlete's foot from your mouth? You'll have bad breath." Xiao Ye tried to explain. Nangguang Xiao's beautiful eyes widened in disbelief. "You idiot, what's going on?" Cheng Bingxi released her wrist and said, "Xiao, Xiao Ye is right, there's a chance he'll get it." Upon hearing this, Nangguang Xiao hurriedly ran to the bathroom to rinse her mouth. 10 seconds later, she came out and pounced on Xiao Ye like a wild beast, roaring, "Zha nan. Bah, you scumbag. I'll kill you for flirting with other women." Xiao Ye trembled and quickly restrained Nangguang Xiao, saying, "Don't do anything rash. I was a victim yesterday too, you know, I was knocked out after just one drink." Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Bingxi exchanged a glance and realized, that seems so. Cheng Bingxi quickly touched the 2 rows of teeth marks and said with concern, "Does it hurt? I'll get some medicine to rub on it for you." Nangguang Xiao also wiped the saliva off the teeth marks on the back of her foot and gently pressed it, trying to relieve the pain. Xiao Ye shook his head. Seeing that the 2 women stopped pestering him, he breathed a sigh of relief and tried to pave the way for Leah, saying, "Teaching assistant's sister wants to become my 3rd contracted beast girl, what do you think?" "Huh?" Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Bingxi's beautiful eyes widened in shock. "Sister Leah really said that?" Xiao Ye nodded. "Otherwise, what?" The 2 women shook their heads violently, their tone firm. "No, absolutely not. That's right, having 2 beast girls is enough, how can we contract a 3rd one?" At this moment, Liu Ya came out carrying a steaming cake and dishes, arranging them neatly, the rich aroma filling the entire living room. Liu nervously ran into the bathroom, not daring to face them. Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Bingxi stared intently at the cake and python meat dishes placed in front of them, very eager. When they picked up their chopsticks to take some, Xiao Ye raised his hand and knocked their chopsticks away, saying, "Xiao, Bingxi, this was prepared by the teaching assistant. Do you want to eat?" Gulp. Gulp. Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Bingxi stared longingly at the cakes and dishes in front of them, which were emitting a rich aroma, and swallowed their saliva. Chapter 88, Successfully Persuaded, A Day of Great Joy. "Want some?" "Gulp my favorite." Gulp the plump girl Nangguang Xiao and the long-legged girl Cheng Bingxi's mouths were constantly watering, and they were constantly swallowing. "No way, you 2 are so averse to the teaching assistant, how can you eat the food she carefully prepared?" Xiao Ye placed their favorites, durian milfeu cake and red ginseng python meat roll, in front of him. He scooped up a piece of cake with a spoon, held it to his nose, smelled it with great enjoyment, and then put it in his mouth, chewing slowly, saying, "It smells so good. I've never eaten such a fragrant durian milfeu cake." Slurp. The plump girl Nangguang Xiao's beautiful eyes were filled with longing, and saliva dripped from the corners of her mouth. Xiao Ye scooped up another full spoonful, brought it close to Nangguang Xiao's small mouth, and said, "Want some? Open your mouth if you want some." Nangguang Xiao opened her small mouth and leaned forward, about to eat it. But just then, Xiao Ye suddenly pulled the spoon back, and the plump girl ate a mouthful of air. Ugh! How awful! Nangguang Xiao bared her teeth and brandished her claws. Next, Xiao Ye picked up a piece of red ginseng and python meat roll. Under Cheng Bingxi's watchful eye, he ate it with great enjoyment, saying as he ate, "This meat is only found in heaven, it's a rare treat to eat in one's lifetime. It's fragrant, tender, and chewy, every bite bursts with juice." Nangguang Xiao angrily said, "Oh! You even recited poetry. How infuriating." Cheng Bingxi nodded in agreement, gritting her teeth. "Exactly. So infuriating." Xiao Ye sighed regretfully, "I guess we won't be able to eat these 2 plates again, the teaching assistant won't be cooking for us anymore. Saying this, Xiao Ye picked up a piece of red ginseng and python meat roll, placed it in front of Chen Bingxi's cherry-like lips, and smiled, "Eat if you want." AWW. Chen Bingxi quickly ate the meat in one bite, delicious. HMPH. After finishing, she proudly raised her white chin at Xiao Ye. The young girl, Nangguangxiao, stared blankly at the girl, then angrily exclaimed, "Sister Bingxi ate it all, I want some too." No, no, no. Xiao Ye shook his head. He picked up a durian milfeu cake and a red ginseng python meat roll in each hand, and with the two girls as witnesses, walked to the trash can and threw the plates into it. Nangguangxiao and Chen Bingxi's beautiful eyes widened, and they exclaimed urgently, "Don't you eat fried dough? Xiao Ye, are you crazy? Why did you throw it away?" Xiao Ye sat back down at the table, his tone languid. "Since my two beast girl wives don't want Sister Liu Ye to join us, she probably won't see us again, so I threw the food away to put an end to her hopes." Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. Their stomachs rumbled with hunger protests. Nangguangxiao and Chen Bingxi's beautiful eyes darkened, and they muttered, "Actually, it's not that we don't accept Sister Liu Ye. Yes, we're just afraid that you'll go around flirting with other women." Xiao Ye's eyes lit up, there was hope. So he pressed on, saying, "Sister Liu Ye is of course my last contracted beast girl. Besides, this durian milfeu cake and red ginseng python meat roll are very expensive, each dish costs 1 Grandmaster level crystal core. Hey, Sister Liu Ye is a rich woman. If she joins us, we can eat her every day. Grandmaster level crystal core." Hearing this, the two women shrank back, not expecting it to be so expensive. Xiao Ye continued to persuade them, "And you've both seen Sister Liu Ye's cooking skills. It's at the level of a state banquet. Each time she cooks, the fee is 1 Grandmaster level crystal core. If she cooks for us every day, it's equivalent to us earning 365 Grandmaster level crystal cores a year." That seems to be true. The two women swallowed, their beautiful eyes lighting up. After a moment's thought, they exchanged a knowing glance and nodded, saying, "Xiao Ye, we agree to your contract with a third beast girl." "Yes, but Sister Liu Ye will definitely be your last beast girl." Xiao Ye patted his chest, repeatedly assuring them, "Of course. Xiao Ye, always keep my word. Have I ever lied to you before?" He wanted to settle things now, and as for the future, he'd figure it out when the time came, so Xiao Ye made his promise without any guilt. The two women nodded, trusting Xiao Ye completely. So, Nangguangxiao and Chen Bingxi said in unison, "We agree to your contract with a third beast girl. In the world of foodies, food is ultimately paramount." Xiao Ye nodded in satisfaction, got up, found Liu Ye in the bathroom, and placed a plate of durian milfeu cake and a plate of red ginseng python meat rolls in her hands. Throwing the cake and dishes into the trash can was just a pretense. In reality, he stored them in his system space. Xiao Ye kissed Liu Ye and laughed, "It's all done. Now it's your turn." Liu Ye licked her kissed lips, feeling warm inside and relieved. "Xiao Ye, you're so good to me. From now on, I'll be your beast girl." With that, Xiao Ye pushed Liu Ye forward, turning her to face Nangguangxiao and Chen Bingxi again. This is? Wow. Sister Liu Ye, you made 2 more plates." The two girls' eyes lit up when they saw the cake and meat rolls in Liu Ye's hands. Liu Ye's mature and composed demeanor returned, and she confidently said, "Yes, do you want some, first madam? Second madam?" The two girls took the plates and grabbed the food with their hands, their mouths smeared with cream from the cake and oil from the meat rolls. "Yes, I'm so hungry." Yes, thank you for your hospitality, third madam." Watching the 3 girls getting along harmoniously, Xiao Ye smiled. "See, this is my harem. Every single one of them is a beauty, every single one is an SSS level beast girl. How wonderful." After the meal, Nangguangxiao and Chen Bingxi lifted their clothes, revealing their white, bulging bellies, and kept saying, "It's so delicious. Can we really eat this every day? It's so expensive. Beautiful things are always fleeting and precious. Xiao, don't be too greedy." At this moment, Liu Ye, who had finished washing the dishes, smiled at the 2 girls and said, "Of course we can eat this every day. Just tell me what you want to eat, and I'll take care of it." The 2 girls were overjoyed, their beautiful eyes crinkling into crescent moons with laughter. Then, Nangguangxiao said to Liu Ye, "Sister Liu Ye, You'll be Xiao Ye's third beast girl from now on. Let's go move your things over, and we'll live together from now on. Cheng Bingxi thought for a moment and said, I'll go buy a wedding dress and a headscarf. Today is Sister Liu Ya's big day, so of course we should decorate the house to be festive. What was Xiao Ye doing? He was sitting with his legs crossed, holding Liu Ya's delicate body, leisurely cracking sunflower seeds. An hour later, Liu Ya's belongings had all been moved in, and Villa 001 was decorated in a festive red by Cheng Bingxi. Half an hour later, Liu Ya, having finished her bath, was dressed in a very cheerful off-the-shoulder red wedding dress with a red headscarf. She was ushered into the master bedroom on the second floor by Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Bingxi, the master bedroom with a 3-meter-long, wide bed. On such a joyous day, of course, it's time to consummate the marriage. Yes, Sister Liu, hurry up, don't keep Xiao Ye waiting. With a bang, the bedroom door was locked by the two women outside as Liu Ya entered. Xiao Ye's lips twitched, and he said, it's broad daylight, not even night yet. Liu pounced on him, taking the initiative, saying, stop talking nonsense, I've wanted to win you over for a long time, and today I finally got my wish. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 89 Family Members, who understands? I can't break through their defenses. If the mortal realm is likened to a sewer, then the Grandmaster realm is a stream. The Grandmaster realm above the Grandmaster is a river. The Venerable realm above the Grandmaster is a river of even greater breadth and length. The Venerable realm at an even higher level is a vast and profound ocean. Xiao Ye, at the Grandmaster realm, is like a drop in the ocean, a lone boat, compared to Liu Ya, at the Venerable realm. The Venerable realm, in terms of both physical strength and energy, far surpasses the Grandmaster realm. Half an hour later, Xiao Ye collapsed from exhaustion, embracing Liu Ya, who wasn't even out of breath, and said helplessly, your physical strength is too high, I can't break through your defense at all. Yes, after half an hour of effort, Xiao Ye hadn't even broken through that membrane. Liu chuckled and comforted him, it's alright, I have other ways. Sigh. Xiao Ye's eyes were lifeless, he could only be a puppet again, at Liu Ya's mercy. Xiao Ye was unwilling. The most precious treasure in the world was right before him, yet he was powerless to seize it. In the end, it was still because his realm was too low. The Great Venerable Realm is 3 major realms above the Grandmaster realm. The difference in strength between Grandmaster, Great Grandmaster, Venerable, and Great Venerable is hundreds, even thousands of times. Simply put, even if a Grandmaster attacks at full power, a Great Venerable Realm expert wouldn't be able to harm a single hair on their head. After all, the passive defense of a Great Venerable Realm expert is not something a mere Grandmaster can break. What a disaster! Xiao Ye roared. The battle was over. A while later, in the first-floor living room, on the sofa, Xiao Ye looked utterly frustrated. Family members, who understands? We can't break their defenses. Liu chuckled, your realms are too low, you need to work on leveling up. Nangguang Xiao looked at Liu Ya, then at Cheng Bingxi, and then at herself, comparing herself. The third madam's realm was the Great Venerable Realm, while the first and second madams were only at the Grandmaster realm. A surge of energy rose in Nangguang Xiao's heart. From now on, we must cultivate diligently. Cheng Bingxi opened her mouth, puzzled. We're already at the 7th level of Grandmaster, that's already very good. Nangguang Xiao shook her head. We are the first madam and the second madam, how can our cultivation be lower than the third madam's? Sister Bingxi, we will never be inferior to anyone in our lives. We don't have to surpass the third madam, but at least we should be on par with her. Xiao Ye stood up abruptly, his gaze resolute, his tone firm. Cultivate, we must cultivate. Xiao Ye never wanted to experience the pain of having something but not being able to have it again. Liu rolled her eyes at him, thinking to herself, you'll be mine sooner or later, you can't escape it, what's the rush? Urged on by Xiao Ye, the three entered the underground cultivation room. The space in the cultivation room was very spacious, enough to accommodate the 9-tailed celestial fox and the 3-toed golden dragon. The three immediately mobilized their contract power and transformed into their summoned beast forms. Instantly, the golden 3-toed golden dragon appeared in midair, while the two-tailed white fox stood on the ground. Taking out the 3 high-grade Grandmaster-level crystal cores that Yunbing had given him, Xiao Ye began absorbing their mixed energy, slowly refining it within his summoned beast's body before finally applying it to himself to improve his cultivation level. An hour passed, and his cultivation level had only increased slightly. Xiao Ye estimated that he could advance a small rank in a week. To reach the Great Venerable Realm, relying solely on these mixed energy crystal cores would take decades. Xiao Ye was exasperated. Decades. He wouldn't even be able to fully enjoy the fruits of his labor within decades. What a disaster. At this moment, Liu Ye came down carrying a pile of blue potion bottles. Xiao Ye's eyes lit up immediately. He recognized what kind of potions they were. Liu Ye swayed her sexy waist as she walked to the holy two-tailed white fox, placed the energy liquid bottles on the ground, and smiled. These are the pure energy liquids I had left over from before, here. Xiao Ye glanced at them. There were about 20 bottles in total. Observing the labels, there were a total of 8 high-grade Grandmaster energy liquids, 8 low-grade Grandmaster energy liquids, and 4 mid-grade Grandmaster energy liquids. Ha ha ha. Xiao Ye was overjoyed and controlled the two-tailed white fox to lean over and kiss Liu Ye. With these energy liquids, he could quickly advance to the 3rd level of Grandmaster. Compared to the mixed energy of the crystal core, the speed would be more than 10 times faster. Liu Ye felt a little strange being kissed by those furry mouths, so she changed the subject and said, "Unfortunately, energy liquids are always in short supply. I've given all the energy liquids above the Grandmaster level to my disciples, and this is all I have." The holy two-tailed white fox said, "It's okay if you don't have any. You can't force it. This is enough for a while." Then, the golden dragon and the white fox used the energy liquids that had been purified through hundreds of processes using advanced technology. With a boom, they were transformed into their own energy foundation without needing to be refined, and the golden dragon and the white fox's realms rapidly increased in an instant. All the absorbed energy gathers in the spiritual core that generates the power of intent, and controls the power of intent to form a circulation throughout the body, to propel the speed of pure energy. Then rapidly runs the magical beast cultivation method, allowing the spiritual core to absorb energy. Liu Ye, transformed into a spirit-like cat-ear girl, guided them from the side, her 2 fluffy cat ears standing upright on either side of her head, a delicate gray tail swaying behind her. The 3-toed golden dragon and the holy two-tailed white fox tried Liu Ye's method and found that their speed increased 3-fold again. Adding the 10-fold increase in pure energy, it was 30 times the original speed. Originally, it would take a week to advance 1 rank, but now it could advance 1 rank in 5 hours. This speed was simply amazing. Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Bingxi were shocked. It was terrifying. Xiao Ye was overjoyed. They, as Grandmaster 7 stars, could advance to the Grandmaster realm in a single day. Previously, it would have taken at least a month. The time had been shortened by 30 times. Liu Ye was not only the most beautiful teaching assistant, but also the most beautiful professor 100 years ago. With her guidance, cultivation could achieve twice the result with half the effort. If you skillfully use the power of intent to drive the flow of energy, your cultivation speed can double. However, you can't be too hasty, otherwise, in your eagerness to improve your realm, you'll neglect the accumulation of your foundation. Liu Ye crossed her arms and continued to give pointers from the side. Suddenly, she perked up. She saw that the golden dragon and the white fox had already finished their first bottle of energy liquid and were gulping down the second bottle. Liu Ye exclaimed in surprise, "You've already absorbed a bottle of energy liquid so quickly?" After finishing the bottle, the golden dragon nodded and said, "Yes, Sister Liu Ye, what's wrong?" Hiss. Liu Ye gasped, shocked. "Your speed is at least 5 times faster than that of a typical SSS level template summoned beast." Liu Ye circled around the golden dragon and the white fox in amazement, her beautiful eyes constantly scrutinizing them, and she kept saying, "Amazing, so amazing." Oh. Xiao Ye understood what was going on. The 3-toed golden dragon is in its 2nd form, upgraded using the system's evolution points. The white fox is also in its 2nd form, essentially a bloodline enhancement. Their cultivation speed and combat power are naturally significantly stronger than ordinary SSS level template summoned beasts. However, the fact that they are about 5 times stronger surprised Xiao Ye. This is only the 2nd form, there's a 3rd, 4th, 5th. How powerful will they be when they reach that stage? Chapter 90 Infinite Contract Talent, Multiple Bodies Coexisting. The highest form of the nine-tailed celestial fox is the ninth form. How powerful would that be? Moreover, opening the template adjuster reveals, SSS Level Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox Template, upgradable, SSS Level 5 Claw Golden Dragon Template, upgradable. After upgrading the SSS Level template, it becomes Mythical Level. This is a completely different level of upgrade from the form upgrade. If the form upgrade is like unlocking bloodlines, then the template upgrade is like sublimating bloodlines, bringing benefits far exceeding the form upgrade. Xiao Ye couldn't help but ask the system about the connection between the two. Upgrading the form to the 9th stage will automatically unlock the mythical level. Xiao Ye's eyes lit up, thinking, so, using the template upgrade function to directly upgrade the template to the mythical level is equivalent to upgrading the form to the 9th form, Ling. Congratulations, host, your understanding is correct. Hiss. Xiao Ye gasped. The template adjuster was so powerful. No wonder it's a treasure at the level of the universe's origin. Since it could directly upgrade the template level, Xiao Ye certainly didn't want to slowly upgrade his summoned beast's form step by step. So he checked the template upgrade conditions for the three-toed golden dragon and the two-tailed white fox, SSS rank 5 claw golden dragon template, upgradable, 10 fire, 10 water, 10 wood, 10 earth, 10 metal, 50 creation type, 50 supreme type. This requires 10 of each of the 5 elemental rule fragments, followed by 50 creation type and 50 supreme type, SSS rank 9-tailed celestial fox template, upgradable, 50 life type, 50 creation type, 50 destruction type, this. Upon seeing these upgrade requirements, Xiao Ye hesitated. Creation type and 5 elemental types were easy to find, but where could he find supreme type? They were clearly rare. Life type and destruction type were also difficult to find. But Xiao Ye was optimistic, things would work themselves out. Since it existed, even if it was rare, he was sure he could find it and obtain it. 4 hours passed quickly. After consuming 8 mid-grade Grandmaster Energy Liquids and 4 high-grade Grandmaster Energy Liquids, the holy two-tailed white fox and the three-toed golden dragon reached the 8th star of the Grandmaster realm. This was equivalent to consuming 2 mid-grade Grandmaster Crystal Cores and 1 high-grade Grandmaster Crystal Core. The beast-eared girl, Liu Yan, leaned against the wall, her beautiful eyes constantly scanning the scene, her surprise evident. A melodious voice rang out, "This speed completely crushes my past self. Is this talent more terrifying than any supreme being? Advancing a small level every 4 hours, even a top-tier supreme being would have to step aside." The energy liquid on the ground was estimated to only be enough to raise them to the 1st star of the Grandmaster realm. They could advance to Grandmaster in a single day. Hiss. Liu gasped. Other SSS-level beings would take at least several months, and SS-level beings would take even longer, 1 or 2 years. Looking at the half-empty energy liquid on the ground, Xiao Ye sensed something was wrong. If only there were more, otherwise it would be used up quickly. So Xiao Ye controlled the white fox and said, "Liu Yan, my wife, go to the market and buy some energy liquid so we can cultivate seamlessly." This was the first time Xiao Ye had called her wife. Liu was overjoyed and said, "No, I must supervise you the whole time. Your cultivation speed is too fast. If you neglect the refinement of your foundation, it will greatly affect your future. If you encounter any abnormalities in your cultivation, I can give you immediate guidance so you can correct them." Hearing this, Xiao Ye looked troubled. The host can transfer their consciousness back to human form while maintaining their summoned beast form. At this moment, the system spoke. His eyes lit up. It could actually do that? Immediately, Xiao Ye tried transferring his consciousness back to human form. With a whoosh, a mysterious light flashed, and a handsome young man, 1.8 meters tall, appeared next to Liu Yan. It was Xiao Ye in human form. Moreover, the two-tailed white fox and the three-toed golden dragon had not disappeared and were still cultivating unlimited contract talent, capable of summoning multiple contracted beasts simultaneously. The consciousness can exist simultaneously in the mind of a contracted beast, in a human body, or independently in a human body, and can be transferred at any time. Xiao Ye opened his eyes and immediately saw the golden dragon and the white fox. He wasn't used to his consciousness existing in multiple bodies simultaneously, so at this moment, his consciousness existed solely in his human body. The Golden Dragon and White Fox were currently controlled solely by Nangguang Xiao and Cheng Bingxi. Liu was startled to see Xiao Ye appear. Her beautiful face was filled with seriousness. She twisted her sexy waist, took 2 steps back, and cautiously opened her fiery red lips, saying, "Who are you? Why do you look exactly like Xiao Ye? Your energy and aura are the same too." "No, you are Xiao Ye," Liu Ye exclaimed in surprise, her beautiful eyes widening. "Xiao Ye, me and me? That's obvious." Xiao Ye rushed forward, hugged Liu Ye's waist, and pressed his lips to hers. 2 minutes later, the two separated. Xiao Ye asked with interest, "Who am I?" Liu Ye's eyes were a little dazed as she leaned against the wall. "You rascal, aren't you Xiao Ye? It's amazing that you can actually detach from your summoned beast form and return to human form on your own." "That's right, I am who I am." Xiao Ye nodded, moved closer to Liu Ye, and then pinched her soft skin hard twice, his expression fierce. "I told you to go buy energy liquid, but you wouldn't go. Your husband has no choice but to do it himself." A blush rose on Liu Ye's delicate face. She slapped his hand away and scolded, "Then hurry up and go. It's still daytime. You can do whatever you want tonight." Xiao Ye was speechless, looking at Liu Ye with a strange expression. Good grief, just a few hours ago, during their wedding night, who said it didn't matter whether it was day or night, and then pounced on her like a hungry wolf? Liu rolled her eyes at him, stomped her foot, and said coquettishly, "Oh, no need to rush, what's yours will always be yours. Okay, teaching assistant sister." Seeing Xiao Ye agree, Liu Ye breathed a sigh of relief, took out 2 great venerable crystal cores from her bosom and put them in Xiao Ye's pocket. Then, like a virtuous young lady, she straightened Xiao Ye's collar. After straightening it, she leaned close to Xiao Ye's ear and whispered, "Actually, you don't have to wait until tonight. You can do whatever you want in private, but don't do anything in front of Xiao and Bingzai. It would be so embarrassing for a teaching assistant like me to be harassed by you in public." Xiao Ye suddenly understood. So that's how it is. Liu is still the same fierce Liu Ye, only she's a little shy in certain aspects. He naturally had to give her face. At this time, his physical strength was also constantly increasing. As his 2 summoned beasts grew stronger, they would also help his human body grow stronger. Afterwards, Xiao Ye left the Magic City Academy and headed to the market in the Magic City Base City, the largest trading market near the Magic City Academy. Post-apocalyptic buildings, constructed of reinforced steel, stood tall on the ground. Base vehicles constantly traveled along the extensive road network. The Red Moon Merchant Guild, with shops throughout all the base cities in the country, was the largest merchant guild nationwide. The Red Moon Pavilion, part of the Red Moon Merchant Guild, occupied an entire high-rise building in the heart of the market. Xiao Ye arrived at his destination, the cultivation resource area. 2 large shelves were filled to the brim with Grandmaster Realm Energy Liquid and Great Grandmaster Realm Energy Liquid. Xiao Ye estimated there were several hundred bottles in total. Take them all, Xiao Ye decided. Chapter 91 Encountering the Supreme Being on the Road, the terrified Red Moon Guild leader. Although the energy liquid was ridiculously expensive, 2 bottles of Grandmaster level high-grade energy liquid cost the equivalent of 1 Grandmaster level high-grade crystal core. 4 bottles of Grandmaster level high-grade energy liquid were only equivalent to the energy of 1 Grandmaster level high-grade crystal core. Grandmaster level high-grade crystal cores were the crystal cores of magical beasts ranging from Grandmaster level 8 to Grandmaster level 10. Xiao Ye touched the 2 great venerable level crystal cores in his pocket. He could buy all the energy liquids on those 2 large shelves. At this moment, a sales assistant approached from a distance, smiling and introducing, "Sir, all the energy liquids here are pre-ordered. If you need any, you can pay with the crystal cores first and wait for the next batch in a week." Xiao Ye frowned. "There are only energy liquids below the venerable level here, at least 200 bottles, all pre-ordered?" The sales assistant nodded, "Yes, sir. Energy liquids are rare items, all shops are like this." Xiao Ye was troubled. Did this mean he could only get them next week? The sales assistant watched silently. "I'll pre-order," Xiao Ye said. The sales assistant handed over a form, ready to fill it out, and explained, "Sir, you are at the Grandmaster level, so you can only pre-order Grandmaster level energy liquid, and you can only pre-order 4 bottles of Grandmaster level high-grade energy liquid at a time." Xiao Ye. 4 bottles of Grandmaster level high-grade energy liquid, gone in a few hours. And, a whole week to wait? This is outrageous. Helpless, Xiao Ye had no choice but to pay 2 Grandmaster level high-grade crystal cores first. The price for 4 bottles of Grandmaster level high-grade energy liquid was 2 Grandmaster level high-grade crystal cores. Afterwards, Xiao Ye left. Watching Xiao Ye's departing figure, the sales assistant muttered to himself, if you had paid double the price, the shop would have sold it to you right now. A country bumpkin, doesn't even know these rules. Probably a poor student. I've seen plenty of people like him, too lazy to remind him. If you were wearing expensive, high-end clothes, he would have proactively reminded him, or even if he didn't need to be reminded, they would all understand. Shaking his head, the sales assistant continued to guide other customers. Xiao Ye walked out of the cultivation resource area in a depressed mood and wandered aimlessly through the other market areas. Unconsciously, he arrived at the women's uniform section. Huh? Xiao Ye narrowed his eyes, spotting a familiar, muscular figure amidst the bustling crowd. It was Vajra Supreme. Vajra Supreme was still as solitary as ever, not shopping with his contractor wife, just him alone. At this moment, Cheng Gang was loitering outside the women's uniform shops, his eyes lewdly glancing into each one. He rubbed his hands together, his eyes gleaming, muttering, playing with uniforms, I love it the most. Bang! Suddenly, his right shoulder was patted. Cheng Gang turned to see a handsome young man standing beside him. Brother Xiao, what a coincidence, to run into you here. Cheng Gang narrowed his eyes, sizing Xiao Ye up and down, giving him a knowing look. I know everything. Uniforms, a man's favorite. Xiao Ye's face darkened. What do you know? Before Xiao Ye could speak, Cheng Gang put his arm around him and led him into a women's uniform shop. Not far from the shop, a middle-aged man in a white robe wiped the cold sweat from his forehead and said, luckily, the Supreme Lord knows that kid. Otherwise, if that kid had patted the Supreme Lord on the shoulder and the Supreme Lord had blamed him, I, the guild leader of the Red Moon Pavilion branch in Shanghai, would have been out of a job. Every time the Supreme Lord visited the Red Moon Pavilion, he, as the guild leader, would secretly accompany him the whole time, afraid of neglecting the Supreme Lord. However, only the Vajra Supreme Lord came often, other Supreme Lords rarely came. Who is this kid? The Supreme Lord seems to have a good relationship with him. He kept watch in secret to prevent any unexpected situations. The Red Moon Merchant Guild headquarters was in the capital, and the Shanghai branch was the branch, and he was the guild leader of the Shanghai branch. Inside the shop, Cheng Gang chuckled and said, Brother Xiao, I'm good at this. I'll teach you a few fun tricks. Xiao Ye saw that he was so interested, and the clothes in the shop were indeed very eye-catching. They had all kinds of styles. This shop mainly sold casual wear. So he became interested. Cheng Gang pointed to a bunny girl uniform and said, this one is suitable for people with long legs. Xiao Ye narrowed his eyes. This outfit would suit Liu Ya very well. Cheng Gang waved his hand and said, Manager, wrap this up and put it on my tab. Xiao Ye looked puzzled. Did Cheng Gang have his eye on it? Cheng Gang glanced at Xiao Ye's expression and then nodded in satisfaction. Brother Xiao definitely likes this kind. Immediately afterward, Cheng Gang pointed to a JK uniform. Brother Xiao, this is suitable for students. Students? Xiao Ye calculated that teaching assistant Liu might look better in it. Cheng Gang glanced at Xiao Ye's expression and nodded in satisfaction. Manager, wrap this up too and put it on my tab. Hiss. Xiao Ye gasped. Cheng Gang was still going strong. Passing by a very revealing lace dress, Cheng Gang said, wrap this one up too. Xiao Ye imagined that Liu would look even better in this. However, he wouldn't buy these things. Only a macho man like Cheng Gang would openly shout buy them all, in public. Xiao Ye would buy them secretly when no one was around. Finally, Cheng Gang put his arm around Xiao Ye's shoulder and left the shop, chuckling, Brother Xiao, those 3 outfits definitely won't satisfy you. I'll have the shop manager pack up all the uniforms, and they'll be sent to your villa number 001 in the Lakeview Villa district later. He pointed with his fingers, saying each word clearly. Let me think. For example, flight attendant uniforms, high-waisted clothes, teacher uniforms, etc. There are over 100 sets in total. I'll give them all to you. How about that? Isn't that generous enough? Xiao Ye was stunned, his lips twitching. Didn't you buy those for yourself? Cheng Gang shook his head. I'm already tired of them. Xiao Ye gave Cheng Gang a deep look. Indeed, Brother Cheng was quite knowledgeable in this area. Sister Yun Bing even got dozens of bottles of Optimus Prime potion from him and gave them to him. Cheng Gang blushed under Xiao Ye's gaze and leaned closer, whispering, "Hey, actually those are just supplements. You cured my problem, so I don't need them anymore. I should thank you, really." Xiao Ye nodded. "Brother Cheng, I understand, no need to say more. Hey, what else do you want to buy? Just tell Brother Cheng, and I'll buy it for you," Cheng Gang said generously. Xiao Ye hesitated. Actually, he did want some energy liquid. So Xiao Ye tentatively asked, "Brother Cheng, actually I want to buy some energy liquid, but..." Xiao Ye recounted what happened at the Red Moon Pavilion to the Vajra Supreme Cheng Gang. Upon hearing this, Cheng Gang's face darkened, and he roared, "Bullshit! Energy liquid, such a common commodity, needs to be pre-ordered? And there's a quantity limit? Where did that old man from the guild get the guts to restrict my brother? I'll tear down his guild. Let's go find him." Chapter 92 400 bottles of energy liquid. The Supreme One wants to visit Liu Yang. Just as Cheng Gang was rambling on, a middle-aged man with a weathered face and silver hair, dressed in a white robe, broke out in a cold sweat and hurriedly ran over, saying solemnly, "Your Excellency, please come to the President's Pavilion. I will definitely give you a satisfactory answer." Cheng Gang glanced at him and snorted, "You old man, what's with following a grown man like me?" The weathered-faced, silver-haired middle-aged man was embarrassed. Who was really being indecent, constantly glancing around the women's uniform area? However, he dared not say this aloud and explained, "Your Excellency, I'm innocent. I was inspecting the shops." "Yes, inspecting the shops." Xiao Ye sized him up and found that the man had a weathered face, but his silver hair made him look quite handsome. He probably looked older than his age. He wasn't old, but he looked old. No wonder Cheng Gang called him an old man. "Brother Xiao, this is the branch president of the Red Moon Chamber of Commerce. Just call him Old Man Su," Cheng Gang introduced from the side. Seeing Xiao Ye's strange gaze, the weathered-faced Chairman Su said sheepishly, "Mr. Xiao, hello." Xiao Ye nodded and greeted him with a smile, "Chairman Su." Then, Chairman Su, with his weathered face, led Xiao Ye and Cheng Gang to the chairman's pavilion. The top floor of the Red Moon Tower. Elegant and exquisite furniture, and uniquely crafted collectibles displayed everywhere. "Mr. Xiao, do you need energy liquid? I'll arrange it for you immediately." Chairman Su, whose face looked too aged, took out his communication device and issued an order. Soon, the saleswoman who had greeted Xiao Ye arrived, holding a delicate little box. Chairman Su handed the box to Xiao Ye and smiled. "This is a 100 cubic meter storage ring, containing 400 vials of energy liquid, 200 for Grandmasters and 200 for Great Grandmasters." Hiss. The saleswoman gasped in shock, her eyes widening in disbelief. Good heavens, this incredibly handsome guy wasn't a poor student, he was actually the chairman's honored guest. And the sales assistant next to him, glancing cautiously at Cheng Gang out of the corner of her eye, was terrified. The Supreme Being. One of the 10 most famous Supreme Beings in Shanghai, the Vajra Supreme Being. This young man clearly had a close relationship with the Vajra Supreme Being. A pang of annoyance and regret rose in the sales assistant's heart. She regretted her lack of tact and her failure to properly serve this young man. Otherwise, a promotion and raise would be just around the corner. What rules, what restrictions, to powerful forces, they're nothing. Xiao Ye, unaware of the sales assistant's inner turmoil, did some calculations. Whether it was the Golden Dragon or the White Fox, advancing a small rank required 2 crystal cores, which amounted to 8 energy liquids. A summoned beast at the Grandmaster level would require at least 80 liquids. 2 summoned beasts would require at least 160 liquids. There were 200 energy liquids each for the Grandmaster and Great Grandmaster levels, which seemed sufficient for 2 summoned beasts to advance to the Venerable level. After calculating, Xiao Ye took the stored ring and asked, "How many crystal cores?" "I'll give them to you." President Su glanced at Vajra Supreme's expression, waved his hand, and laughed. "It's my first time meeting Mr. Xiao, and I almost neglected you. No need to pay. Consider it a small gift from this old man." Xiao Ye hesitated for a moment, then Cheng Gang spoke up with a smile, "Brother Xiao, please accept it, it's the token of my appreciation." Hearing this, Xiao Ye accepted the ring and thanked him, then "Thank you very much, President Su." The weathered-faced, Silver-haired president of the Red Moon Chamber of Commerce smiled and handed over a card smaller than the palm of his hand. Mr. Xiao, this is the Red Moon Chamber of Commerce's Super VIP card. With this card, all goods are 20% off, and you have priority in purchasing. Afterwards, the weathered-faced President Su respectfully saw Chenggang and Chenggang out of the president's pavilion. Phew. The weathered-faced man rubbed his back and exhaled. His back had been covered in cold sweat without him realizing it. On the street, King Kong Supreme Chenggang laughed. Brother Xiao, this old man Su also rose from humble beginnings. Born in a low-level base city, he's now the president of the Red Moon Chamber of Commerce. He's quite an inspirational figure. You can get to know him better, he's a pretty good guy. Xiao Ye put his stored ring into his system space, not particularly interested in President Su. He wanted to get home quickly, give the energy liquid to the two cultivation girls, and then let Liu try on various uniforms, especially the bunny girl outfit, the JK skirt, and the revealing lace dress. That's right. With two cultivation girls, Xiao Ye was getting stronger every moment, and it freed up his hands. He wanted to spend some time with Liu Yat, the goddess of Kunpeng Academy, rather than chatting and joking around with this roughneck Chenggang. Seeing Xiao Ye's lack of interest, Chenggang rubbed his hands together and suggested, Brother Xiao, let's go to Kunpeng Academy together. I have an old friend I haven't seen in a long time, and we can go see her today. Xiao Ye nodded thoughtfully and said, an old friend? Chenggang was surprised. Yes, it's that most beautiful teaching assistant, Liu Yang. Chenggang sighed. Liu was his white moonlight back then, but unfortunately, she didn't like him and made a contract with another man, but later, that man died under the claws of a magical beast. To this day, Liu Ye is still single. Now, Chenggang, who has been married for a long time, only regards Liu Ye as an old friend, and he no longer has that youthful infatuation with her. A few days ago, Liu Ye called him, probably because she encountered some trouble. As an old friend, Chenggang wanted to go and see if he could help in any way. He couldn't get the rule fragments now, but as a supreme being, he still had the ability to help with other troubles. Xiao Ye choked on his words. Liu Ye was already his wife, and Chenggang would probably find out when he returned. He wondered what Chenggang's expression would be. Cheng Ye told Xiao Ye about Chenggang and Liu Ye's story. Chenggang's situation was rather tragic. His beloved Liu Ye was bound to another man, who was always having affairs and never touched her. To this day, Liu Ye remained a virgin. After that man died, Chenggang had been married for many years and couldn't be with Liu Ye anymore. Well, in the end, Xiao Ye won her over. A smile appeared on Xiao Ye's face. However, the smile quickly faded. He was also in a terrible situation. He couldn't break through Liu Ye's passive defense, the middle path was blocked, so he had to take other routes. He estimated that only when he advanced to the Great Venerable or Venerable Realm could he break through her defense and truly get his hands on her. He was truly miserable. Come on, let's go together. Chenggang introduced with great interest. Let me tell you, my old friend is the famous and beautiful teaching assistant Liu Yat, who was also a renowned and beautiful professor 100 years ago. After we get there, I'll introduce you to her and ask her to take you as her disciple. With her guidance, your talent will be discovered and utilized more thoroughly, which will be a wonderful thing for you. Xiao Ye was stunned. Chenggang didn't know that Liu Ye had already taken him as her disciple, and moreover, Liu Ye was already his wife. Goodness, hopefully Chenggang won't be shocked when these two relationships are revealed. Chapter 93 The Supreme Being is dumbfounded, Bunny Girl Liu Yang. At the entrance of the No. 3 Lakeside Villa Complex, the burly Chenggang and Xiao Ye entered arm in arm, the gatekeeper watching them respectfully. Brother Xiao, let me tell you something interesting. The most beautiful teaching assistant lives very close to you, in Villa No. 10. What a coincidence, isn't it? Chenggang playfully punched Xiao Ye's shoulder. Xiao Ye nodded. It was indeed a coincidence. The most beautiful teaching assistant, Liu Yan, had become his beast girl. Upon arriving at Villa No. 10, Chenggang found no one home. Just as he was wondering, Xiao Ye spoke up. I guess teaching assistant Liu Yan is with me? Chenggang was surprised. You two know each other? Xiao Ye nodded. More than just knowing each other, they knew each other inside and out. To the point where she knew his strengths and weaknesses, while he knew hers. Why didn't he know her depths? This was related to her inability to break down his defenses. Immediately afterwards, The two of them went to villa number 001. As the villa door opened, a fragrant figure rushed over and embraced Xiao Ye. "You're back so soon." Liu Ye's beautiful face was filled with surprise, and she noticed the astonished King Kong Supreme Chang'an standing beside her. "Oh, Chang'an, you're here too? Come in." Liu pulled Xiao Ye into the first-floor living room. The living room was filled with women's uniforms, some youthful and beautiful, some alluring and seductive, and some with unusual open-work designs. These clothes were made of post-apocalyptic materials, highly elastic, and could automatically adjust to the size of a person, so women of all shapes and sizes could wear them. The Red Moon Merchant Guild's delivery speed was fast, and the goods had been delivered to the address before Xiao Ye returned. Drinking tea, Chang'an said in surprise, "Liu Yan, you've already taken Brother Xiao as your disciple?" Liu looked at the clothes with delighted eyes and replied, "Yes. Since you already know each other, I'll save myself the trouble of explaining." Chang'an chuckled sheepishly. Seeing Liu Ye's delighted expression, Chang'an tried to discuss it with Xiao Ye. "Brother Xiao, we have over 100 uniforms, how about we give a few to Liu Ye?" Xiao Ye's lips twitched. Did he really need to give her any? Liu Ye could choose whatever she wanted. He nodded, "No problem." So he went over and picked out the most attractive sets, a bunny girl uniform, a JK skirt uniform, and a lace skirt uniform, which he gave to Liu Ye. Teaching assistant sister, from now on, when there are no guests at home, wear these 3 sets. Liu hugged the 3 sets and examined them carefully, her pretty face turning red. She scolded, "This is embarrassing." The bunny girl uniform was too tight on her bottom. The JK skirt was clearly for students. Was it appropriate for a mature teaching assistant to wear it? The contrast was too great, it was embarrassing to wear. The last set was even bolder, completely lace-up. It was practically the same as not wearing anything at all. Xiao Ye raised an eyebrow. "It was specially prepared for you. If Xiao and Binxi wore it, it wouldn't have the same charm. You'd look even better in it. Want to wear it? Specially prepared for me? Wear it." "I'll wear it," Liu exclaimed. Chang'an, who witnessed their conversation, stared wide-eyed in astonishment, his gaze shifting between the two. Something was going on. This wasn't a normal master-disciple relationship at all. Charm? More charm? These words sounded like flirtatious banter between lovers. Xiao Ye leaned over and kissed Liu Ye's fair cheek, saying expectantly, "Wear it for me right away when there are no guests." A blush rose on Liu Ye's pretty face, and she said shyly, "There are outsiders here, you should restrain yourself." "Outsiders? Wear it when there are no guests?" These words echoed in Chang'an's ears, causing him to stare wide-eyed in astonishment. He finally couldn't hold back any longer and asked the question that had been nagging at him, "Liu Ye, Brother Xiao, what's your relationship?" "Oh." Xiao Ye hesitated, not wanting to disappoint Chang'an. "Sister Liu Ye, you tell me." Chang'an looked at Liu Ye. Could it really be? A happy smile spread across Liu Ye's delicate face as she embraced Xiao Ye, saying, "Of course, Xiao Ye is my husband. I've decided to be Xiao Ye's 3rd contracted beast girl." The Supreme was dumbfounded. "Holy crap, this news is too explosive. Let me catch my breath. You're over 150 years apart in age and 3 major realms apart in cultivation. Liu, you must be joking." Chang'an said incredulously. Before he could believe it, Liu Ye pouted her fiery red lips and pressed her lips to Xiao Ye's, kissing him for a full 2 minutes before separating. "Now do you believe me?" Liu Ye tilted her head and asked. The Supreme One's lips twitched uncontrollably. Incredulous, he finally nodded. His heart churned like a stormy sea, his hand gripping the teacup stiff. Liu Ye glanced at Chang'an's tea and said, "Chang'an, consider this cup of tea our wedding toast. Today is also my wedding day with Xiao Ye." Chang'an. He looked down at the teacup in his hand and the tea inside. He felt a bitter, complex mix of emotions. His white moonlight was, after all, just a white moonlight, pure and unadulterated. Wedding tea? Chang'an looked up with a bitter expression and took a swig. Damn it. Although he didn't harbor any impure thoughts towards Liu Ye at this moment, the thought of his former white moonlight marrying someone else was incredibly frustrating for Chang'an. Especially since the other party was Xiao Ye. This brother who was only 18. Life is fucking messed up, it's outrageous. Brother Xiao, congratulations. Liu Yang, congratulations. After exchanging pleasantries, Chang'an, His eyes filled with complex emotions, stood up and clasped his hands in congratulations. He then took out a crystal core from his pocket. Things happened so suddenly, I didn't prepare any gifts. This is a supreme-grade crystal core, the most valuable thing I have. Consider it my congratulatory gift. Cheng Gang placed it on the table and remained silent. Xiao Ye watched Cheng Gang, guessing he was quite unsettled. Walking over, Xiao Ye patted Cheng Gang on the shoulder and said, "Brother Cheng, now that you've solved your fast man flaw, you must be having a great time. Give me a smile." "How, of course. My wife praises my stamina every day." Cheng Gang laughed heartily. Liu leaned closer and asked in a low voice, puzzled, "What's a fast man flaw?" Xiao Ye explained to Liu Yan, second death man, fast man, and so on. Liu suddenly understood, giving Cheng Gang a thoughtful look, her gaze filled with surprise. So, the famous Vajra Supreme had such a flaw. Cheng Gang was startled, feeling utterly mortified. "Damn it. Brother Xiao. You can't talk about these things between men with women. This is really mortifying. Even if you have to say it, don't say it to her face. Even if you whisper, I can hear you from this close." His former white moonlight, though married, made Cheng Gang's face burn with shame, feeling utterly humiliated. Liu Ya glanced at Cheng Gang, then ignored him, focusing on Xiao Ye. Luckily, Xiao Ye doesn't have that deficiency, otherwise what would happen to those three beast girls? I probably couldn't even satisfy them. Seeing the two gazing at each other with such affection, Cheng Gang couldn't stay any longer and quickly left, slipping away. "Brother Xiao, Liu, come visit again next time, goodbye." Xiao Ye nodded, "Brother Cheng, come anytime." After Cheng Gang left, Liu Ya went to close the door. With no one else present, she immediately took off all her clothes in the living room and changed into a bunny girl outfit. Xiao Ye witnessed the whole thing. The bunny girl outfit perfectly showcased Liu Ya's graceful figure and incredibly long, delicate, white legs, further accentuating her proud, shapely figure. At this moment, Liu Ya exuded both elegance and allure. She wore tall, upright black bunny ears. Feeling the bunny ears were a bit unnecessary, Liu Ya removed them and transformed into her animal ear girl form. In a flash, her ears became two fluffy cat ears, and a cat tail appeared behind her. It's so, but it. After dressing up, Liu Ya adjusted the uniform somewhat uncomfortably. Chapter 94 Catwoman Liu Ya, Complete Template. What's wrong? Xiao Ye examined the area closely, his eyes widening in surprise. Good heavens, the flesh was practically deformed from the tightness. Mainly, her figure was too voluptuous, and the clothes didn't fit properly. Liu Ya's delicate face was full of distress. "Should we change? It hurts." Xiao Ye shook his head, pulled Liu over, and made her sit on his lap. Then, Xiao Ye reached out and massaged that area for Liu Ya. "It's okay, this uniform is very stretchy. Once it adapts to the size, it will automatically loosen up." Liu Ya nodded, coquettishly saying, "That's true, but are you testing me by massaging like this?" Xiao Ye's hand felt smooth, and he said seriously, "Of course not, I'm helping you relieve the pain." Liu shifted awkwardly. Finally, after a few minutes, she happily exclaimed, "It's okay, it's not tight anymore." "What a pity," Xiao Ye reluctantly withdrew his hand. PFFT. Catwoman Liu Ya laughed. "I'll wear this every day at home for you to see. It's just that this uniform has too little fabric, otherwise I could wear it to class too." Xiao Ye's eyes narrowed. Wear it to class? Impossible. The bunny girl uniform not only perfectly showcased her figure but also completely exposed her long, white legs. It was even bolder than the leather pants Liu usually wore. If he wore it to class and those virile male students saw it, wouldn't he, Xiao Ye, be incredibly embarrassed? "Xiao Ye, help me put on my shoes." Liu jumped onto the sofa and placed her fair, smooth feet on Xiao Ye's lap. Xiao Ye looked at them. They were a pair of jade feet, as perfect as works of art. Suddenly, Liu Ya raised her jade foot and kicked Xiao Ye's nose, accidentally making intimate contact with his mouth. "Ah!" Liu was startled and quickly put her jade foot down, weakly saying, "I didn't mean to." Xiao Ye smiled and said, "It's okay, it doesn't smell bad, it smells good. Everyone knows that whether feet smell bad or not depends on the face." Then Xiao Ye picked up the crystal high heels from the ground and helped Liu Ya put them on. Suddenly, those delicate little feet mischievously moved, and the shoes came out crooked. Liu smiled brightly. Seeing that they weren't on properly, Xiao Ye tried again, but those fair feet twisted around, and the shoes came out crooked again. PFFT. Liu covered her mouth and laughed. Naughty. Xiao Ye was annoyed, looking at those jade feet, and said, "These feet are too naughty, they must be punished." So Xiao Ye threw away the high heels, stretched out his righteous hands, and gave those jade feet a severe punishment. Heh. Liu was tickled and couldn't stop laughing, clutching her stomach. "I won't do it again. Let me go." Liu begged for mercy. Xiao Ye hit them hard, pretending to be fierce, and said, "Teaching assistant sister, these feet are too cunning, they must be taught a lesson again." Then he played with them for 10 minutes before stopping. Finally she's not naughty anymore. Xiao Ye then smoothly put the crystal high heels on her. Ugh. Liu looked at Xiao Ye with resentful eyes and said, "So you guys all like this kind of thing?" Xiao Ye shook his head and said, No, wearing jade feet will only hurt yourself. I was just upholding justice, disciplining that naughty creature. HMPH. Liu huffed, "I don't care, you've angered me." "Angered you?" Xiao Ye looked over and was startled. Liu Ye's expression was one of intense desire. Then, Xiao Ye was dragged into the bedroom by Liu Ye for a duel. After a while, Xiao Ye was exhausted, while Liu was radiant. The two, dressed neatly, went to the underground cultivation room. A golden dragon, its body radiant with the golden light, hovered in midair, its aura incredibly strong. The holy two-tailed white fox looked even more noble and sacred. Both had their eyes closed, completely absorbed in cultivation. "Very good, I'll be reaching the 9th star of the Grandmaster realm soon," Liu Ye said with a bright smile. Xiao Ye smiled and took out his stored drink from the system space, then placed all 400 bottles of energy liquid on the ground. There were more than 60 bottles each of the lower, middle, and upper grades of Grandmaster realm energy liquid, totaling 200 bottles. There were also more than 60 bottles each of the lower, middle, and upper grades of Grandmaster realm energy liquid, totaling 200 bottles. So many? This amount of energy liquid is enough to support both summon beasts until they upgrade to the venerable realm. Liu was surprised. Xiao Ye nodded and asked, "Can a venerable realm cultivator break through your passive defense?" Liu gave him a charming glare and said coquettishly, "I was once the undisputed #1 person below the supreme realm. Even if my realm regressed to the 1st star of the great venerable realm, my passive defense is not something a venerable realm cultivator can break through. That's for ordinary venerable realm cultivators. Can I, a venerable realm cultivator, break through your passive defense?" Xiao Ye's eyes gleamed. Liu sized up Xiao Ye, pondering, "You're in human form, but your strength is 5 times greater than an average SSS-level Beast Tamer. You might actually be able to break through my defenses at the venerable realm." Xiao Ye smiled, "That's what I was thinking too. Based on the cultivation speed of his 2 summon beasts, they could break through to the venerable realm within a month." Liu Ye's beautiful eyes softened as she comforted him, "No matter what, I'm your 3rd contracted beast girl, although we can't form a contract yet." Xiao Ye understood, his flesh would always be his, and only he could eat it in the future. But cultivating to become stronger was the eternal truth of the apocalypse, so Xiao Ye believed that the higher his realm, the better for him. But, forming a contract, template adjuster investigating, SSS rank spirit cat template, incomplete, issued, missing 2 creation type law fragments, unresolved, issued, realm regression, temporarily resolved, in the system space, lying quietly are 14 creation type, 5 dark type, 1 metal type, 1 fire type, and 1 ice type rule fragment crystals. Each crystal flows with incomparably profound rule power. It's time to complete Liu Ye's template and formally establish a contract with her. Huh? But to Xiao Ye's surprise, the crystal cores he stored next to these crystals had changed. Taking out one of the Grandmaster level low-grade crystal cores, he saw several strands of different types of Taoist rhyme flowing on it, and a crack on the surface of the sphere. "What is this?" Liu leaned closer to look, her beautiful eyes widening in surprise. "This is the Taoist energy that only supreme-level crystal cores have. Why does a Grandmaster-level crystal core also have it?" This left Liu Ye completely baffled, even with her extensive knowledge. She didn't understand the underlying principles. Xiao Ye chuckled, "This crystal core must be too low in energy level to store much Dao essence, it's almost cracked." "Store Dao essence?" Liu Ye exclaimed in astonishment. Xiao Ye nodded, opening his palm. On his large hand appeared two crystal fragments of rules. Two creation-type crystals. Crystals successfully recognized their master, Xiao Ye. Two messages entered Xiao Ye's mind. This is? Crystal fragments of rules. Liu Ye's breathing became rapid. Chapter 95, The Contract is formally established, the third beast girl Liu Yan. The rule fragment crystals, Liu Yan knew what this meant to her. It meant her template problem could be perfectly solved. It meant she could cultivate and level up normally from now on. It meant she could form a contract with Xiao Ye and truly become his third beast girl, not just in words. The usually mature and composed Liu Ye's heart pounded wildly at this moment. She didn't rush forward to snatch them, but cautiously asked, Xiao Ye, what's this? Xiao Ye could see the longing in her beautiful eyes and immediately smiled. As you wish, these are two creation-type rule fragment crystals. Today, you can solve your template problem. Liu was overjoyed and pounced on Xiao Ye, kissing him sweetly. You're so good to me, Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye felt a cool sensation on his lips and said, go. With a command, the two creation-type rule fragment crystals transformed into two streams of light and entered Liu Ye's body. Profound and mysterious rule power spread out. Xiao Ye immediately activated the template adjuster's function, template repair function. Instantly, a vast power descended, enveloping Liu Ye's delicate body. The dense power of rules was guided and refined, gradually merging with Liu Ye and then completely fusing into the template. SSS rank Spirit Cat template, upgradable, template incomplete, resolved. Catwoman Liu Ye looked at her slender, white hands, feeling a surge of power within her. Her beautiful face was filled with joy, and she jumped up, hugging Xiao Ye tightly, gratefully saying, Xiao Ye, thank you. Xiao Ye's head was enveloped in the proud, upright form, making it hard for him to breathe. You're welcome, Xiao Ye said in a muffled voice. Ah. Liu Ye reacted, wanting to release Xiao Ye so he could breathe more freely. Xiao Ye rubbed his head, found a comfortable position, and said, it's okay, I can hold it in for several hours. Liu Ye hugged him, her pretty face flushed, and said coquettishly, let's make a contract. Xiao Ye said in a low voice, are you really sure you want to make a contract with me? We're more than 150 years apart in age, and you're a teaching assistant while I'm a student. If word gets out, you'll face a lot of criticism and strange looks. If Liu Ye disagreed, he could take back the rule fragment crystal at any time. Liu Ye, however, glared at him with wide eyes and angrily snorted, HMPH. So what? I, Liu Ye, have no need to explain my actions to others. Since I've decided to be your beast girl, I will definitely form a contract with you. With that, Liu Ye pinched Xiao Ye's waist, then spun him 360 degrees, her pretty face fierce as she said, Xiao Ye, do you think I'm too old? Do you think I'm an old cow eating young grass? Xiao Ye gasped in pain, inhaling several mouthfuls of milky air, and said in astonishment, no, when did I think you were old? Besides, you're not an old cow, you're a dairy cow. If a dairy cow doesn't eat young grass, does it eat withered grass? If it eats withered grass, how can it produce milk? HMPH. Liu Ye snorted, no matter what you say, I'm your beast girl. Immediately afterward, Liu Ye mobilized the power of the contract, displaying the template of the contract formation rules, urging, quickly form a contract with me. Xiao Ye could only obediently form a contract with her. Congratulations, host, on contracting your third beast girl, SSS rank Spirit Cat template, Liu Ye, realm, Great Venerable 1-star, illusory domain. Within the domain, reality is transformed into illusion, rendering everything incapable of movement, talent, skill, intent. Etherealization, self-etherealization grants immunity to a certain degree of any attack. Illusion bestowal, enemies imbued with illusions will have all their senses replaced by illusions, living in an illusion with a time limit. Phantom tracking, speed increased tenfold. Form upgrade function, SSS rank Spirit Cat, first form 90/100, second form, randomly awakens 1 in 8 concept type talent skill. The information about the Spirit Cat summon appeared in his mind. The Venerable Realm and Great Venerable Realm domains are transformed from the intent power of a Grandmaster. When the intent power undergoes a qualitative change to a certain degree, it forms a domain, becoming an aura. The Spirit Cat's talent skills and domains are all illusion type. Xiao Ye carefully read the description of the illusory domain and felt it was extremely terrifying. What is illusion? Anything that doesn't truly exist is illusion. This realm can pull everything in reality into illusion. Meanwhile, on the road leading from the main gate of the Magic City Academy to the main camp of the combat training base, many powerful individuals at the Venerable Realm and Great Venerable Realm had arrived, numbering over 50. Senior Brother Zhang, long time no see. How have you been? Haha, very well. Senior Sister Shuang, you're still as robust as ever. Vajra Barbie Senior Sister? Can you withstand my fists the size of sandbags? These people started chatting and joking as soon as they met, clearly very familiar with each other. Immediately afterward, a military green pickup truck drove up, and 3 burly men stepped out. The deputy commander of the combat training base, a Great Venerable Realm 10-star. Everyone, please move to the base camp, we'll receive you there. I'll contact my junior brothers and ask them to come over for a get-together. Indeed, these were all Liu Ye's disciples, appearing in pairs, and all possessing profound cultivation levels. Just as everyone was preparing to leave, Vajra Supreme Chenggang walked by looking dejected. Seeing the group, he stopped in surprise. These people look like Liu Ye's former disciples. Could it be that news of Liu Ye's remarriage has spread far and wide? Am I the only one who found out recently? Are all these people here to celebrate? Chenggang grabbed a deputy commander and asked, "What are you all doing here?" The deputy commander, a 10-star Grand Venerable, recognized Chenggang as a burly man and was startled. He quickly bowed respectfully, saying, "Greetings, Supreme." Chenggang waved his hand and asked, "Are you going to Liu Ye's wedding banquet?" The deputy commander looked bewildered. "What? When did my teacher get married? Did she hold a banquet recently? I didn't receive an invitation. We're just here to get together and meet our junior brother." Chenggang suddenly realized he wasn't the last to know about Liu Ye's marriage. "Then please make yourselves at home. Goodbye." Chenggang left. But upon hearing Chenggang's words, these people erupted into heated discussion. Holy crap, teacher got married? Such explosive news, why didn't we hear anything about it? Damn, teacher has always been so pure and innocent, which bastard managed to snag her? I don't know. They asked each other, but surprisingly, not a single person knew who Liu Ye's remarried man was. They firmly believed the words of the Vajra Supreme. A Supreme wouldn't spread rumors about such a matter. Liu Ye's remarriage was most likely true. A deputy commander raised his hand to calm them down, saying, "Don't panic. Right now, junior brother has the most contact with teacher. Let's invite him over for a gathering, he'll definitely know who it is." If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 96 Leah, that person is right in front of you. A few minutes later, at the main camp of the combat training base. In the spacious reception hall, over 50 terrifyingly powerful individuals gathered. Vice Commander, quickly called junior brother over. We can't wait to find out about teacher's wedding. All these terrifyingly powerful individuals stared expectantly at the Vice Commander. The burly Vice Commander took out his communication device, dialed Xiao Ye's number, and told him he was there to meet with his senior brothers and sisters. After hanging up, the Vice Commander smiled on his rugged face. Junior brother and the others will be here shortly. Please wait a moment. Hearing this, the restless hearts of these 50-odd terrifyingly powerful individuals finally calmed down a little. Their purpose for this trip had changed. It was no longer just to visit junior brother, but also to learn about their teacher's situation. Someone angrily exclaimed, "I wonder which guy took down our teacher. Our teacher's cultivation level has been stuck at the 10th star of the Great Venerable Realm, and he can't advance, and he doesn't have any backing. I hope our teacher wasn't forced." In the demon capital, the supreme families are the real power. The 10th star of the Great Venerable Realm is ultimately a step weaker. Hearing this, the others frowned and indignantly said, "That guy dares. I'll chop his dick off." That's right, our teacher has no backing, but we are his backing. Exactly, we have at least 20-odd Great Venerable Realm cultivators. Even if we clashed with the supreme families, we wouldn't be too weak. Meanwhile, in the underground cultivation room, Xiao Ye reluctantly left a broad embrace. "Sister Leah, can't I not go?" Leah playfully tapped Xiao Ye's forehead with her slender finger. "Of course you have to go see your fellow disciples. The disciples I, Liu Yan, have trained are always united and very friendly to each other. All right then, Xiao Ye nodded. At this moment, the three-toed golden dragon and the two-tailed white fox had reached a crucial stage in their breakthrough, almost reaching the 9th star of the Grandmaster realm. Liu needed to stay and watch over them, and couldn't leave for too long. Afterwards, Xiao Ye headed to the practical training base. At the base gate, a guard was already waiting and led Xiao Ye to the reception hall. "Junior brother is here," the deputy commander greeted, and everyone's eyes turned to him. "Junior brother, is only one person here? Where's junior sister? I must say, very handsome." Xiao Ye greeted them. "Hello, senior brothers and sisters, my name is Xiao Ye." The King Kong Barbie pulled Xiao Ye to a seat and smiled. "I'm the eldest senior sister, one of the earliest students taught by the teacher. I'm the eldest senior brother, and you and your eldest senior sister are a pair of contractors," a tall, thin man said from the side. Xiao Ye sized them up. The contrast between the two was striking. The eldest senior brother was 1.9 meters tall, thin as a bamboo pole, while the contractor senior sister was a King Kong Barbie, all muscular. The other senior brothers and sisters then briefly introduced themselves, and Xiao Ye responded to each one. The golden Barbie senior sister touched Xiao Ye's wrist and exclaimed in surprise, "Good heavens, 18 years old, Grandmaster level 8. Everyone present was shocked. An 18-year-old Grandmaster level 8? Their teacher's current disciple was incredibly powerful. What level were you at 18? I think I was only at level 7 back then. I was an SS level template, and I was only at level 5 when I first entered university. I was an SSS level template, and I barely entered the Grandmaster realm when I first entered university. Wow, junior brother is already a Grandmaster level 8. This talent crushes us. Ahem, let alone us, even if a Supreme were here, they couldn't compare." Everyone present was at least a venerable realm expert, but their gazes towards Xiao Ye changed. This junior brother was destined to reach the Supreme realm, or even surpass it. They had several labels for their junior brother: peerless prodigy, brilliantly talented, and incredibly handsome. Some of the senior sisters who had already formed contracts boldly spoke up. If I had met junior brother back then, I would definitely have won him over." "Are you serious about winning him over?" "Those who know, know. Even senior sister is tempted." Xiao Ye's lips twitched. There was no need to say that. The three vice commanders hurriedly spoke up, asking about the important matter. "Everyone, please be quiet." The scene immediately fell silent. "Junior brother, there is something very important that we need to confirm with you." One of the vice commanders smiled warmly. "Teacher, has she recently remarried and formed a contract with someone else?" Everyone present looked on expectantly. Xiao Ye was surprised. "You all know?" "That's right, Sister Liu Ye has indeed remarried." Hearing junior brother admitted himself, the scene immediately erupted. This was fundamentally different from what Vajra Supreme had said. Vajra Barbie senior sister grabbed senior brother Skinny by the neck, incredulous. The others discussed among themselves, but their attention remained on Xiao Ye. The three deputy commanders were relatively calm, asking Xiao Ye, "Who is he? Do we know him?" Seeing the murderous glares from his senior brothers and sisters, Xiao Ye sensed something was wrong and hesitated before vaguely saying, "You know him, but that person." The surrounding senior brothers and sisters stared intently, making it difficult for Xiao Ye to speak. What if he got beaten up? After all, there was a huge age difference between him and Liu Ye, and he was also Liu Ye's disciple. Ahem. Xiao Ye tried to smooth things over. "You should ask Sister Liu Ye yourself, she'll tell you directly." The deputy commanders frowned. "Does that person have great power? Junior brother doesn't dare to speak? Who is this powerful person we know? The Vajra Supreme? Doesn't seem like it. When I saw him earlier, he seemed a bit melancholy, not like a joyous newlywed." The 50-odd powerful disciples discussed it and decided to go see their teacher in person. So, this large group set off with Xiao Ye in a grand manner, heading towards the three-character Lakeside Villa district. The gatekeeper was startled by the large crowd and rushed to stop them. Only after Xiao Ye's introduction did he open the gate and allow everyone to pass. Everyone remembered their teacher's villa as Villa number 10. But Xiao Ye led them to Villa number 001. Xiao Ye had informed Liu Ye beforehand, and Liu Ye, after changing her clothes, came out to greet them. "Greetings, teacher. Teacher, long time no see. Teacher, how have you been?" The 50-odd powerful figures all respectfully bowed and greeted them. A faint smile graced Liu Ye's exquisite face. It's been so many years, you all haven't changed a bit. You've all come all this way. Our villa can't accommodate you all. Let's go to a restaurant. The deputy chief waved his hand, voicing everyone's questions. Teacher, we've come to know who your new husband is. Was your marriage forced upon you? We hope you won't force yourself. We have your back, we'll support you. Liu smiled gently and said, it was my own choice. As for my new husband, that person is right here in front of you. Chapter 97. Teacher, give me a kiss to prove it. Far away, yet so close? The crowd's gazes darted between them, senior brother, deputy chief, second senior brother. But they all rejected these names, searching among their own ranks. As for Xiao Ye, no one even glanced at him. The age difference was too great, and Xiao Ye was the youngest among them. He hadn't known the teacher for more than 3 days since the start of the semester. How could it be Xiao Ye? Xiao Ye's lips twitched. This was too disrespectful. He was currently 18, but before his transmigration, he was a university student, making him 40 in total. PFFT. Liu covered her mouth and chuckled, finding it amusing, and went straight to the point. Alright, stop guessing. His name is Xiao Ye, and he's standing right in front of you. Xiao Ye? Which Xiao Ye? Is there someone among us named Xiao Ye? No, the disciples murmured. Wait. 3 vice principals who recognized Xiao Ye exclaimed, Teacher, this Xiao Ye, could it be? Junior brother? The gazes of over 50 disciples suddenly focused on Xiao Ye, quite surprised. Liu gently touched her fair chin and opened her sexy little mouth, saying, Yes, it's Xiao Ye. How about it, aren't you surprised? The disciples scrutinized Xiao Ye, their faces grave. Could it be that junior brother was just a shield used by their teacher? The real person was someone else. HMPH. The teacher must have been forced. We will give the teacher justice. The 3 vice principals voiced the disciples' thoughts. Teacher, we don't believe it. That's right, how could that be? Junior brother has only been in school for 3 days. How many times have you met him? Exactly, unless teacher proves your relationship. Liu Ya's smile froze for a moment. Prove it? Fine. In her mind, these were all disciples with whom she had a good relationship, proving it wouldn't be a problem, and Xiao Ye shouldn't be questioned. Thus, under everyone's unwavering gaze, Liu threw herself into Xiao Ye's arms, and they hugged briefly. Xiao Ye felt a proud, upright figure pressing against him, which was quite comfortable. After the hug, Liu Ye tossed her fallen hair and smiled. Do you believe me now? But the disciples still didn't believe her, shaking their heads. The vice principal said, Teacher, what does a hug mean? You should at least give me a kiss. Xiao Ye had a bad feeling. Liu was quite wild in private, but with so many people watching, she probably wouldn't do something so intimate in public. Liu blushed upon hearing this, glanced at Xiao Ye with her beautiful eyes, pouted her sexy lips, and stomped her foot, saying, a kiss it is. Xiao Ye's identity was unquestionable. They had to take him seriously. So, Liu Ye suppressed her shyness and, under everyone's gaze, pouted her lips and kissed Xiao Ye. Pop! Xiao Ye felt a cool sensation, but the kiss was brief. Liu Ye's beautiful eyes widened, and she said, Little deputy, little King Kong, how about it, do you believe me now? The disciples were dumbfounded, their eyes wide open. Hiss. Just how deep is our teacher hiding? Such a huge sacrifice. Is that person very powerful? Our teacher didn't dare reveal a single word. They still didn't believe her. The deputy commander shook his head, about to say something, when Liu Ye's beautiful eyes widened again, and he was so frightened that he immediately shut up. But the muscular senior sister King Kong Barbie was the closest to Liu Ye, and she felt that what their teacher said might be true. Though she couldn't be completely sure. A kiss, a quick touch, what's the big deal? Teacher, a kiss, and you're like this? One kiss, I'd be fine with that too. Saying this, the muscular senior sister King Kong Barbie walked towards Xiao Ye, seemingly about to give him a kiss. Xiao Ye, startled, retreated hastily, waving his hands. Senior sister, no need. Senior brother, aren't you going to control your wife? Unexpectedly, the tall, thin senior brother smirked and teased, just a kiss, I give you permission. Holy crap. The disciples were shocked by his magnanimity. Damn. Xiao Ye's lips twitched. No need, senior sister. Liu Ye's beautiful eyes twitched, stopping the disciples from approaching her senior sister. She glared at them, saying, "Little Vajra, you're getting more and more arrogant, even trying to lay a finger on your teacher's man." HMPH. No way. He's Liu Ye's man. Isn't a kiss enough? How else do you want to prove it? Xiao Ye scratched his head, a sudden inspiration striking him. He thought of a way to definitively prove his identity. Suddenly, Xiao Ye's eyes widened as he felt a fragrant breeze waft towards him. It was Liu Ye, who pounced on him again, giving him a French kiss. Soon, Xiao Ye felt his teeth being broken as a small fish slipped inside. Holy crap! This startled Xiao Ye. Liu Ye was too audacious. 10 minutes, a full 10 minutes. Watching the two still continuing, the disciples fell silent. The eldest sister said, "Could they really be?" The vice commander said, "Most likely." The eldest brother said, "Probably yes, but there's also a chance they aren't." Hiss. Still going. After another 2 minutes, Liu Ye finally released Xiao Ye and faced the crowd, saying, "Believe it or not?" The disciples remained silent. Even though they didn't want to believe it, they had no choice but to, though their doubts were real. At this moment, a disciple at the Venerable Realm spoke up, "Teacher, you are an SSS-level Spirit Cat template. If you and Junior Brother summon the Spirit Cat, we'll definitely believe you." His words made all the disciples' eyes light up, and they hurriedly echoed, "That's right, how come I didn't think of such a simple method?" Teacher, do you dare to summon the Spirit Cat? Junior Brother is really just a shield you've put out. HMPH. Liu Ye was a little angry after being denied by the disciples again and again. She pouted and wiped the drool off her lips, unsure if it was hers or Xiao Ye's. "Xiao Ye, come on. That's exactly what I was thinking." Xiao Ye nodded. The method he had just considered was also summoning a contracted beast. Immediately afterward, Xiao Ye and Liu Ye activated their contract power. Boom. A surge of illusory energy spread from the two of them, pulling everything around them into an unreal state. A nimble and graceful spirit cat appeared, its body shifting between illusion and reality. When the real spirit cat summon appeared before them, all the disciples present widened their eyes and swallowed hard. Really, Junior Brother is really teacher's new husband. This is too fantastical. Junior Brother is only an adult. We can't call him Junior Brother anymore, we should call him Mr. Xiao. Junior Brother, no, Mr. Xiao, that damn guy, he actually managed to win over our pure and innocent teacher. All the disciples finally completely believed Liu Ye's words. Xiao Ye is indeed our teacher's new husband. The great venerable spirit cat snorted, her gaze sweeping around the room before she coldly said, "Believe it now? Good. Since you've witnessed my marriage to Xiao Ye, hand over your congratulatory gifts. One gift for each of you, or you won't be leaving." Upon hearing this, the disciples immediately wailed, "Ah! We forgot our gifts." Chapter 98. Liu Ye blushes. "It's clearly you who likes it, why do you say I like it?" The group moved to a luxurious private room at a grand restaurant in Shanghai, where Liu Ye, Xiao Ye, and their disciples gathered. As the waiter served the food and drinks, Liu Ye repeated her earlier words, "One by one, hand over your gifts." She snorted. These people had made her feel uncomfortable, so it was time to show some appreciation. Some groaned again, while others echoed, "We didn't prepare any wedding gifts." "That's right, what are we going to do? How about sacrificing my kidneys?" "Who cares about your kidneys? Get lost." The disciples at the Great Venerable Realm had a different attitude. They came up one by one. First were the eldest brother and sister, who came up carrying a camera and smiling as they took out a shimmering, glowing pearl, saying, "Teacher, this is a treasure. It can add some atmosphere when you and your junior brother play tonight." With that, the golden Barbie eldest sister activated a pearl, and instantly, it floated up, emitting a romantic pink light. The pink glow shone on them, and Xiao Ye felt much more refreshed. It not only enhances the atmosphere, but also has auxiliary functions. The skinny senior brother chuckled mischievously. Liu Ye's pretty face darkened, a hint of disgust showing on her rosy lips. "This is a proper thing, don't want it, you take it, Suddenly, her red lips were covered by Xiao Ye's hand. Xiao Ye put away the luminous pearl and smiled, "This thing is quite good, we'll take it." This thing would be helpful to him, and seeing that he liked it, Liu Ye didn't stop him, only glaring at Xiao Ye. The skinny senior brother gave a knowing look and laughed. "Junior brother, teacher, we want to record your happy moment. Can you appear on camera? He pointed to the camera that was already ready to take pictures. Sure, let's take a picture to remember the moment. Liu Ye and Xiao Ye appeared in the frame. The skinny senior brother suggested, "Teacher, junior brother, you two are too far apart, get closer, be more intimate." Liu Ye's pretty face turned red. More intimate? She hurriedly shook her head. Xiao Ye clicked his tongue. Last time Liu Ye kissed him, he was completely stunned and didn't get a chance to properly savor the sensation. Now that he had the chance, he should take the initiative and make Liu Ye stunned too. Liu Ye's beautiful eyes widened as Xiao Ye suddenly leaned in, his handsome face filing her entire field of vision. Then she was forcefully kissed. What are you feeling? Because her mouth was blocked, Liu Ye's voice was muffled and unclear. Suddenly, she trembled violently, completely bewildered. Xiao Ye made his move, breaking her teeth and finding the sensation. He savored it carefully. The sweet taste was like encountering ice on a hot day, both sweet and smooth. Liu Ye's mind went completely blank. Holy crap! Junior brother is so valiant. All the disciples in the private room who were drinking and eating were stunned. The three vice presidents didn't even notice the food they were picking up with their chopsticks falling. The senior brother with a camera was dumbfounded and forgot to press the shutter button. After a long silence, a burst of excited shouts erupted. Holy crap! Junior brother, you're awesome. Junior brother, you're a role model for us all. Hiss, in hundreds of years, he's the first person to dare flirt with a teacher like this. The most beautiful teaching assistant, Liu Ye, was once their goddess. A pure and untainted snow lotus from the mud, untouchable by anyone. But now, this sacred lotus has been plucked. Ugh! After a full 10 minutes, Liu Ye weakly pushed Xiao Ye away, her beautiful eyes reproachfully saying, "You rascal." Xiao Ye wiped the drool from the corner of his mouth, not knowing whose it was. "Are you done taking pictures?" Xiao Ye asked. Oh. The senior brother's thin face flushed with embarrassment. "Teacher, junior brother, why don't you do it again? I was so shocked I forgot to press the shutter." "Skinny monkey, you." Liu Ye's beautiful eyes widened. Her lips were swollen from the kiss. "How could you forget?" Xiao Ye looked at her. "How about another one?" Liu Ye quickly shook her head, her slender hands covering her mouth. She said coquettishly, No, if you kiss me again, my lips will be ruined." Xiao Ye negotiated, "We're beholden to those who give us gifts. Senior brother already gave us a wedding gift, let's just take a normal photo to satisfy us." "No, what if they were ruined?" "Just take a random photo." Liu Ye firmly disagreed. "Also, skinny monkey, little Vajra, you're not allowed to call me junior brother anymore. Xiao Ye is of a higher generation than you. You have to call me Mr. Xiao." "All right then, teacher, Mr. Xiao." The skinny senior brother was annoyed that he hadn't done his job properly and had forgotten to press the shutter. In the end, they took a normal photo of two heads, both smiling. Next to present gifts were the three deputy commanders, who, with fawning smiles, offered 3 high-grade grand venerable crystal cores. "Teacher, Mr. Xiao, we spend most of our time at the training base and don't have much to offer, only these mundane items. We hope you won't find them offensive." Liu Ye's beautiful eyes lit up. She needed cultivation resources after her template was restored, and these crystal cores were just what she needed, so she accepted them. "Not bad gifts," Xiao Ye said with a smile. "3 senior brothers, I might visit the training base often in the future, and I might need your help." Under Liu Ye's gaze, the 3 deputy commanders felt embarrassed and lowered their posture, saying, "Mr. Xiao, you are of a higher generation, we are all juniors, please just call us junior deputy." Yes, junior deputy, second junior, third junior are all fine. Yes, please don't call us senior brothers, Mr. Xiao." If the students of the Magic City Academy saw them like this, they would be absolutely astonished. The 3 renowned guardians of our Magic City Academy were actually being so humble and respectful to a young man. Deputy Chief, Second Chief, Third Chief, your gifts are very nice, we accept them." Xiao Ye nodded, accepting them gladly. The 3 deputy chiefs smiled, clasped their hands in a fist salute, and returned to their seats. Next, the other 50-odd pairs of disciples came forward to present their gifts. They all changed their address for Xiao Ye from junior brother to Mr. Xiao, and their tone was respectful. "Mr. Xiao, you have no shortage of worldly things, this is an invincible pill, I hope Mr. Xiao likes it." "Teacher, Mr. Xiao, this is a posture encyclopedia, the masterpiece of artificial intelligence. Teacher, this is a nighttime hand warmer, you won't need to drink hot water after sticking it on. Mr. Xiao, this is a high-grade venerable crystal core. Teacher, Mr. Xiao, this is a great venerable crystal core. As each gift was presented, Liu Ya's pretty face blushed even more. And she thought shyly to herself, oh dear, these students are so improper, what kind of gifts are they giving? Xiao Ye accepted them one by one with a beaming smile, exclaiming loudly as he did so, crystal core? Great! This is great! Great, great, great! The invincible pill, your teacher really likes it. The encyclopedia of postures? Liu likes this even more. Liu stomped her foot, pouting her pink lips and glaring at Xiao Ye. Her eyes, as clear as autumn water, seemed to say, it's clearly you who likes it, why say I like it? It's so embarrassing. Chapter 99, these are the teacher's favorites. We'll send more gifts next time. Sister Liu Yan, everyone knows you so well, they all know what you like. Xiao Ye smiled and raised an eyebrow at Liu Yan. Liu Yan's beautiful eyes narrowed. What? When did she ever like these things? 10 minutes later, the 50-odd pairs of contract disciples finally finished exchanging gifts and returned to their tables to enjoy their drinks and food. Teacher, Mr. Xiao, do you like the gifts we gave? Someone called out, drawing everyone's attention to Liu Yan and Xiao Ye once again. Xiao Ye's lips curled into a smile as he leaned close to Liu Ya's ear and whispered, teaching assistant sister, everyone gave us these gifts to congratulate us on our contract. You can't say you don't like them, can you? Liu Ya's lips twitched, thinking to herself, what a little rascal. But she couldn't refuse her disciples, so she gave Xiao Ye a charmingly disdainful look and smiled at them, saying, I love them. Xiao Ye and I both love them. Thank you all for the gifts. Xiao Ye chimed in, hey, your teacher loves these. You can give these next time. The disciples below brightened up, some slapping their thighs in regret, oh dear, so that's what a teacher likes. I gave her crystal cores. It's all my fault for not preparing them properly, what a pity. Me too. I happen to have a complete guide to knowledge, techniques, at home. The teacher would definitely love that. Sigh, what I gave her was too mundane. I'll have to wait until next time to give her something she likes. They didn't think there was anything wrong with it. Giving the teacher something she liked was the most appropriate thing to do. They were all seasoned veterans and didn't think it was bad to like these things. After all, they were newlyweds, what else would they do? Sleep in separate beds? Liu heard all of these disciples' undisguised words. In an instant, Liu Ya blushed deeply, her delicate face turning bright red, even reaching the back of her ears. Everyone else was fine, but she was incredibly shy. She gritted her teeth and glared at Xiao Ye with resentful eyes. HMPH. It's all your fault. You're the one who caused this. Wait till I get back, tonight, and I'll punish you. I'll make you beg for mercy. No, begging for mercy wouldn't help. Xiao Ye chuckled sheepishly. He had no idea that he was being targeted by the most beautiful teaching assistant, Liu Yan, and would be severely punished, with no chance of begging for mercy. Next, everyone had a normal meal together. They were all good fellow disciples, and had plenty to talk about. At the same table as Xiao Ye and Liu were the four closest to Liu Yan, the skinny senior brother, a 10-star Grand Venerable, and the muscular senior sister, Barbie. 3 deputy directors of the training base, all 10-star Grand Venerables, though their contracted wives were always home. The senior brother and sister were Liu Ya's first disciples, so their relationship was the best. The 3 deputy chiefs, being geographically closer, had the most contact with Liu Ya and were therefore the most familiar with her. At this moment, senior sister Jin Gang Bobby took a sip of her drink and asked curiously, Teacher, does your father know you've remarried? Liu Ya's body trembled upon hearing this, and a cold glint appeared in her eyes. No. Senior sister Jin Gang Bobby sighed, after all this time, you and your father are still so cold. Liu snorted coldly, HMPH. Why would I tell him? Xiao Ye could clearly sense the teaching assistant's low spirits. There must be some story behind it. As her husband, Xiao Ye felt it necessary to find out, and taking advantage of senior sister Jin Gang Bobby's opening, he also asked, Little Jin Gang, could you introduce me to sister Liu Ya's father? Previously, Xiao Ye would address Jin Gang Bobby as senior sister, but now he addressed her as Little Jin Gang without any hesitation. Golden Bobby frowned, observing Liu Ye's expression. Seeing that Liu Ye showed no intention of stopping her, she spoke up, "Mr. Xiao, my teacher's parents went on a mission. Her mother sacrificed herself, while her father returned unharmed. This created a rift between her and her father." Xiao Ye nodded thoughtfully. At this moment, Liu Ye, her eyes red and her pretty face cold, said, "He's the one who killed my mother. My mother insisted on not taking that mission, but that man stubbornly accepted a mission to slay a demonic beast beyond his own cultivation level. In the end, my mother perished in the beast's jaws, but he returned unscathed. The man insisted on taking a mission beyond his cultivation level, and in the end, his wife, who didn't want to take the mission, sacrificed herself, while the man returned unharmed." Xiao Ye fell silent. The disciples present also fell silent. If it were them, they would also resent, even hate, that man. Xiao Ye leaned in and hugged Liu Ye's delicate body, saying gently, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked." Liu Ye trembled, burying her head in Xiao Ye's chest and sobbing, saying, "You bad boy, if we encounter danger in the future, you must not leave me. We'll face it together." Xiao Ye inhaled Liu Ye's fragrance and promised, "Of course. I'm a bad boy, not a coward. If my wife is in danger, I'll bravely rush to her aid. My bravery, Sister Liu Ye, experienced it this morning. You know I'm not lying." Liu Ye hummed in agreement, You are indeed very brave." Why did she feel that this was a little inappropriate? Was this bravery the same as that bravery? Xiao Ye was really a bad boy, he had completely confused her. At this moment, senior sister Jin Gang Bobby said gently, "Teacher, we are not only your disciples but also your family. You can come to us with any difficulties you encounter in life. Don't forget, we are also great venerables at the 10th star level." That's right. Although we can't handle that fragment of rules, we still have the ability to solve other problems. He, my senior brother, might become a supreme in a few decades. He should be able to get the fragment of rules then. Everyone's words, along with Xiao Ye's teasing, improved Liu Ye's mood considerably. Composing herself, Liu Ye's exquisite and beautiful face regained its smile, and she said, "Thank you for your concern. However, I don't need the fragment of rules anymore. Xiao Ye has already solved the problem for me. I can cultivate normally now and advance to the supreme level normally." Upon hearing this, the disciples were immediately shocked. They knew that Liu Ye's cultivation hadn't improved for over 100 years, preventing her from advancing to the supreme level. It turned out that she needed the crystallized fragment of rules to solve this problem. But now Xiao Ye had solved it. In an instant, all the disciples looked at Xiao Ye with a newfound respect. This respect came from the bottom of their hearts. Mr. Xiao has actually gone to such great lengths. 2 fragments of rules. I finally understand why teacher is with Mr. Xiao. Such treasures are priceless and unavailable. Mr. Xiao truly loves teacher. The disciples whispered amongst themselves. They had addressed him as Mr. Xiao out of respect for their teacher's authority, but now, their respect for Xiao Ye stemmed from the bottom of their hearts. They truly acknowledged Xiao Ye as their teacher's husband. Upon hearing that Liu Ye could cultivate normally again, senior brother Skinny Monkey and senior sister Vajra Barbie smiled sincerely, genuinely happy for Liu Ye, saying, "That's wonderful. Teacher can cultivate now. With teacher's talent, the best below the supreme level, in a few decades, teacher and Mr. Xiao will be the 11th supreme in the Magic City. Supreme, that's the top tier figure. In any base city, that's the strongest fighting force." Chapter 100, Father-in-law appears, Xiao Ye is taken to wash feet. The dinner party ended quickly, and at the suggestion of the 3 deputy commanders, everyone headed to the training base to arrange accommodations. The 50-odd pairs of powerful contractors had gathered to see their fellow disciples, so they agreed to go together. Downstairs at the grand restaurant, Liu Ye whispered a few words to Xiao Ye before heading back to observe the cultivation of Nangguang Xiao and the other woman. "You must be back tonight, I have something to tell you." HMPH. Liu Ye's fierce expression before leaving made Xiao Ye feel uneasy. He would return later, after all, he was the host, so he stayed to see his guest off. A white-haired man on the side of the restaurant was furtively watching Xiao Ye's direction, craning his neck and constantly observing, seemingly searching for something. As the other disciples left, the skinny senior brother and the muscular senior sister were the last to depart. They told Xiao Ye, "We just arrived in Shanghai and saw our teacher's father, so we brought up that topic earlier." Xiao Ye asked, puzzled, Doesn't Sister Liu Ye's father live in Shanghai? The muscular sister recalled. No, he's mostly active in the capital. Every time he comes to Shanghai, he secretly watches Liu Ye from afar, and we've bumped into him a few times. The skinny senior brother sighed. Sigh, I guess this time, he's just here to steal a few glances, to see his daughter. Xiao Ye frowned. He'd come all the way from the capital to Shanghai just to steal a few glances, not daring to meet her? It seemed that man also felt guilty towards Liu Ye. Mr. Xiao, we're going to the training base now. Goodbye. After saying goodbye, the muscular sister and the muscular sister followed the others. Xiao Ye nodded, he should go back too. But just then, someone patted his shoulder, and a strong smell of tobacco wafted over. Xiao Ye turned his head and saw a disheveled, white-haired man with a stubble beard. He had never seen this man before, but Xiao Ye felt that his appearance was somewhat familiar. The white-haired man grinned, revealing a few large front teeth, and offered him a cigarette, saying, "Young man, want a cigarette? I want to ask you some information." Xiao Ye raised his hand to refuse, took a step back, covered his nose, and frowned at him. The strong smell of tobacco was a bit pungent. How many cigarettes had this man smoked? What do you want to know? No need for the cigarette, I don't smoke. The tobacco-smelling white-haired man grinned, put away the cigarette, and revealed his large front teeth, saying, "Hey, aren't you students of Liu Ye, the most beautiful teaching assistant at Kunpeng Academy?" Liu Ye? Upon hearing this name, Xiao Ye suddenly realized, no wonder this white-haired man gave him a familiar feeling. Looking closely, the white-haired man's appearance was very similar to Liu Ye's. It was just that the stubble and unkempt appearance somewhat obscured his features, making it difficult to see clearly. Xiao Ye's expression turned serious. This seemingly disheveled man, completely unconcerned about his appearance, was most likely Liu Ye's father. In other words, this man was his father-in-law. I am indeed Liu Ye's student. What do you want to ask? Xiao Ye asked with a smile. The white-haired man with the smell of tobacco was delighted. He looked around and cautiously said, shrinking his neck, "Young man, let's talk somewhere else." Seemingly afraid of being seen, he hurriedly pulled Xiao Ye into a street lit by pink lights, and then into the most eye-catching place on the street, a place called Private Club. Under Xiao Ye's astonished gaze, he seemed to frequent such places, casually tossing out a super VIP card, and instructing the rather attractive receptionist, to all-inclusive services, find us some of the prettiest girls. Xiao Ye. This was his first time in such a place since arriving in the apocalypse, and it was brought by his father-in-law himself. Okay, I guarantee you'll be satisfied. The receptionist's face lit up with a smile when she saw it was a super VIP card, and the address was even from the Imperial Capital flagship store. Young man, I'll ask you a few questions later, that'll be your reward, how about that? Pretty generous, right? Entering a private double room, the white-haired man with the smell of tobacco chuckled. Xiao Ye's lips twitched. Indeed generous, this guy was a seasoned veteran. Seeing that Xiao Ye didn't seem very happy, the white-haired man with the smell of tobacco explained, "Young man, we're doing poverty alleviation. Without us, what would happen to these ladies' seriously ill mothers, their disabled brothers, their families without other sources of income? So, don't be resistant, come and help them often, we're sponsoring them, we're doing good deeds." Xiao Ye's lips twitched. This was ridiculously over the top. Xiao Ye and the white-haired man with the smell of tobacco lay on two comfortable beds not far apart, waiting for the all-inclusive service. What do you want to ask? Xiao Ye asked. This man was Liu Ye's father. Although he seemed unreliable, he was still his father-in-law. He could ask anything, as long as it didn't involve privacy. How's your teacher doing lately? The white-haired man with the smell of tobacco asked, his voice becoming serious. Xiao Ye, very good. Ha ha ha. That's good. The white-haired man with the smell of tobacco laughed heartily. Xiao Ye, actually, the teaching assistant's sister got married. Just as he was about to mention Liu Ye's remarriage, a row of scantily clad women with beautiful figures and excellent looks entered. Finally, the receptionist also came in, smiling as she asked, "Gentlemen, these are the most beautiful and charming women in the store, and also the youngest. Please choose freely." The white-haired man with the smell of tobacco smiled, "Young man, let's choose first, and then we'll ask for information later." Xiao Ye. Looking up, he saw a row of more than 10 delicate women with fair skin, each with a good figure, Curvy and attractive, the kind of beauties he would have been in his class in his previous life. But compared to beauties like Liu Yat, Nanguang Xiao, Chang Bingxi, and Yun Bing, they were far inferior. Not only in appearance, but also in temperament, or even in status. They were worlds apart. So Xiao Ye casually pointed to a woman. Her it is. Haha. Young man, you have good taste. This is the prettiest girl in this batch, the white-haired man with the smell of tobacco laughed. Then he pointed to the receptionist outside this row. You're the one. Xiao Ye. Receptionist. The receptionist smiled wryly. Sir, my job is front desk reception, and I'm over 100 years old. The white-haired man with the smell of tobacco scolded. What, do you want to be complained about? The receptionist had no choice but to agree, letting the row of curvaceous women leave. Of course. The woman with the supple skin that Xiao Ye had chosen stayed. Xiao Ye clicked his tongue. Damn, this father-in-law has such unique tastes, he likes older women. How unique. The full range of services, foot washing, massage, and bathing, were in progress. This woman was indeed professional, her soft little hands made Xiao Ye feel very comfortable. The white-haired man with the smell of tobacco finally spoke. Young man, what were you trying to say? What? A vasectomy? A vasectomy? What the hell is this about getting a vasectomy? How can a woman get a vasectomy? Xiao Ye thought to himself, but on the surface he chuckled and said, no, teaching assistant, she's remarried. What? The white-haired man with the smell of tobacco exclaimed, Liu Ye is remarried. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all, see you in the next video.